experiencing homelessness. TFCU invites you to join us in partnering with Sister Jose Women's Center. Learn more about Sister Jose at www.sisterjose.org.
Enjoy up to 70% off premium products, designer handbags, gift cards from national chains, autographed sports memorabilia, cruises, hotel accommodations, and more. SweetDeals.com. Click Premium.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
You are listening to Tucson's home of the NFL. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT?
Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but three first names, David Scott Kelly.
And a great Monday afternoon to you. Welcome to a new week as we get closer and closer to Christmas. Have we reached 12 days yet? I don't think so. We still got a few ways to go before we can start singing the 12 days of Christmas. Because it's only December the 9th. That'll be, what, later this week? By the time we get to Phoenix.
I was told there'd be no math.
For the big UCLA matchup coming up this Saturday. Do you feel better about your Arizona Wildcats now after Saturday? Big win over Southern Utah. Guys were up 30-something, 30, what they up? 32 at the half. Cruising, defense, pilfering, all that good stuff. Do you feel better about your Arizona Wildcats than you did going in to Saturday? That is, in fact, our question of the day. So head on over right now. You're right started off with our questions. I'm going to make you think right off the top of the show, right to start the week. Thinking, is that the beginning of better things for Tommy Lloyd and his crew? Are you feeling better about Arizona basketball after the big win over Southern Utah on Saturday? Head on over right now to Twitter. You can answer that question. At Wildcats1290 is the Twitter account. Yes. Nothing like a big win to get your mind right. No. It's just another mid-major victory. Or is the jury still out? So I gave you a third answer. Yes, no, and kind of a maybe. Maybe. Because the jury might still be out. Because, yeah, again, 4-4, 4 wins against non-Power 4, 4 losses against Power 4. I'm feeling a little bit better, but not I guess, I would probably, if I'm voting there, I'm voting the jury is still out. The jury is still out. I liked what I saw. I thought they did some good things. Got home cooking, got back to doing some of the things we like to see from Arizona men's basketball, dominating inside, sharing the basketball, that type of thing. But still some things, still didn't really shoot the three well, I didn't think, from some of the guys that need to shoot the three well. But the defense was good, aggressive. Liked what I saw at the defensive end, being aggressive, going after balls, trying to get turnovers, trying to get out in transition and get easy baskets. But as far as I'm concerned, the jury is still out. That's my vote in terms of whether or not we're feeling better about Arizona basketball after Saturday. JW Madden is here. David is on traffic. Dragon Ball is on traffic. Cricket has another vacation. My goodness gracious. Cricket has more vacations than anybody I ever met. Cricket is the happiest person in the building because we have Dragon Ball now, so she can take all these vacations that she has.
Well, I used to be Dragon Ball.
Yes, I heard that. I
got a sash from her first graduation from the 4 years I did cricket.
Sash?
Yeah, she gave me a sash for filling in, something about cum laude, some special group she got into because she did so good in school.
Okay.
I always think that in the NIL era and especially transfer portal era, DK, you're going to have a lot more years like this where people are questioning whether the guys will put it together. On paper, you look at what they have. I mean, outside of maybe a Christian Coloco shot blocking type center, they have literally every single piece. Solid veteran power forward, veteran point guard, obviously fifth-year shooting guard, All-American, that type of stuff down the list. They just haven't put it together and haven't played well as a unit up to this point. So I think the jury's still out until they consistently can, bring a level of physicality and intensity to those matches against the Wisconsins and the Dukes of the world that we haven't seen yet this year. So until that time comes, and they'll say, I think they would tell you the same. It's just about proving it every time out. And this Saturday, we got an old rivalry. I don't want to say rekindle, DK, because it hasn't been, 6 months since they played?
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be that UCLA team is not the UCLA teams we might be used to, not quite as good at talent-wise as we've seen in recent years, but it's still going to be a very, very physical, intense game. So you got to match that intensity. And so far what we saw this past Saturday leads many to believe that that's the direction that they're going.
Mm-hmm. The NCAA, you mentioned the transfer portal era. The NCAA transfer portal for football opened today. A lot of interesting names now over the weekend for your Arizona Wildcats. And I guess the thing now, it's like we're in the era of the announcement. Everything has to be a great announcement. We have everybody puts out, I want to thank this person and that person and the university and all this and da-da-da-da-da and all my teammates. And after thoughtful prayer and all of this, I'm entering the transfer portal. So everything is an announcement now. I want to thank God. I want to thank this person. I want to thank my coaches. I'm signing with so-and-so. Now, apparently, we knew you were transferring, but now you got to announce that it's actually official. Guys are actually posting the official, I guess, whatever thing they got. Looks like from cell phones. Like they send you a text message that says University of Arizona has submitted your notification of transfer. And now guys are posting this. I've seen one today from Rayshawn Luke. I've seen one today from Braden Dorman. I just now seeing one from AJ Jones. Like, I guess that's the thing now. We got to officially post the thing that the school is sending us, letting us know that our application to transfer has been put in. My God, where have we come to? That now we've got to do this. We've got to actually post the notifications. Like, why? Like, why? I'd like to actually talk to one of these guys and find out, why is it necessary to post that? You already posted your thank yous and all of that and the nice colorful picture, with the words. Why do you got to post something that's official? We already know, unless maybe people don't believe me when I posted on Thursday that I was going into the transfer portal. I'm old. I don't get it. I'm not from this era of millennials. So I don't get the need for everything to be an announcement. But that's just me. That's 56-year-old man talking here about 22-year-old men and women.
I think the general concept behind that, DK, is probably something just simple as, there's the more you get your name out there in this day and age, there are people who open packages on YouTube who are 8 years old and make millions of dollars doing so. So the idea of traction amongst whatever group it is that you have, your fans. So if you're an individual player, you have people who've been following you from your high school days through your college days, and then just found you because maybe you have a personality online. So I can't speak for all the student athletes, but I just think that general principle of posting as much as possible is because these 21, 22-year-olds have entire PR departments behind them, right? And even if that's just your cousin running your social medias or whatever. And I think that's the general idea. The more you're out there, the more you're known. The more endorsements come in the future.
So Jacob Manu's in the portal. Apparently, again, he was in the portal last year, obviously with the coaching change. He apparently is, at least that's the word. I have not seen him post anything that's actually official like the others, that he's going in the portal. Keyan Burnett, tight end, going into the portal. Mermello Murphy, another name that I saw today as well, going into the portal. Obviously, I think and when you look at Jonas Savinaya announced over the weekend that he's going to the NFL, which was no surprise there. So you're losing an underclassman in Jonas Savinaya. You're losing a junior in Tethril McMillan. But those were always expected to be guys that were going to be gone after this season. Keyan Burnett, obviously, that's disappointing. It's disappointing, I think, that we never really got to see the full Keyan Burnett due to the injuries this year. There was a lot of thought that he would be a guy that would be at the forefront of this offense this year. And again, that we've pointed to it all season long. You lost an NFL guy, and I'll go back to what I've said. It wasn't so much that you lost the NFL guys. Yeah, you lost 3 guys to the NFL, 4 guys to the NFL. When you're talking Michael Wiley and Tanner McLaughlin and Jacob Cowing and Jordan Morgan, but you lost the guys that you thought were going to replace those guys, and Keyan Burnett at the tight end was that guy. He just never really was healthy enough, at least that, again, and I'd be interested to talk to Chester to find out if what we were told is the truth. And that's not me saying that we were given false information, that he wasn't hurt. Clearly there was an injury that slowed him down this season and did not allow him to rise to the level that we all thought that he was going to rise to. How deep was that injury? Could he have played in games? Could he have been given more of an opportunity in the games that he was healthy or partially healthy and maybe didn't get those opportunities in those games? Those reps maybe went to a Sam Olsen or a Tyler Powell or somebody else? I mean, only Keyan can tell us that. But, build what we thought coming in was going to be a tremendous, tremendous tight end, potentially the next great tight end at this university. 28 catches in 3 years? Maybe 2 of those 28 that we'll remember. The one at Utah, obviously, the touchdown that helped the Wildcats win that game. Disappointing that we didn't get to see the full Keyan Burnett that I think we thought we would when he signed here with that class in 22.
They had 36 receptions this year.
The tight ends?
The tight ends.
Yeah.
And Tanner had 45 last year.
Mm-hmm.
So the 3 tight ends that you said attempted, obviously Burnett was hurt, but those 3 tight ends who tried to fill in for Tanner McLaughlin from last year's production, 36, that's 3 per game. 3 receptions from the tight ends per game.
Malachi Riley was the other guy that we thought would be that Jacob Cowing replacement. He is headed to the transfer portal. Just again, injuries. Injury to him. Didn't allow him to really be able to fully step into that role that we thought he was going to be able to be that next guy, next man up. So that's what happens. Guys get hurt. They fall down the depth chart. They get disillusioned. They want to go and maybe look for something else, about brighter, greener grass, whatever you want to call it. So, again, best of luck to all of those. Some of them might come back. Some of them will likely not. Most of them likely will not come back.
30-day window, is that right?
30, yeah, I think it's something like that. Who knows these days? I think the 30-day window might be, I think that was actually, the 30-day window was as a result of the coaching change, yeah. So I think this is, I'm not sure exactly the length. I guess you can, once you're in, you can be in until you're out. So hopefully, obviously most of these guys are hoping they find something before. And again, they can still come back to school just because we saw it last year. You can be in the portal. Doesn't mean you can't start the second semester here at U of A, stay on some type of class course, and then figure it all out as you go down into the spring. We'll see how that transpires, because this is obviously going to be a much larger, with this new window here, this is largely going to be a much larger exodus at this point than what we've seen in the past where you didn't really have guys leaving in
It says here they changed it. It used to be 45 days, and NCAA Division I Council voted last year to change it to 30.
Right.
And it starts the day that the college football playoffs is announced, so that would have been yesterday, and goes this year, it's December 9th to December 28th is the transfer portal window.
All right. Third member of our program is not cricket today. It is Dragon Ball. Let's see what shot we have there for Dragon Ball. There we have it. That's not his name, so we'll just take that off of there. But we do have his face. That's a good thing right there.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball, your thought, the transfer portal opened today. Your thoughts, Jacob Manu allegedly in the portal. And what's the other new ones we've seen today? Keyan Burnett over the weekend in the portal. Emmanuel Carnley going to be headed into the portal. So some guys some starters and some guys that saw significant playing time. I mentioned, you probably heard, disappointing that we didn't get to see the Keyan Burnett we thought we were going to see here at the University of Arizona.
There's a lot of guys that are going to be taking off for greener pastures, quote unquote, in the transfer portal. Again, like you said, they could potentially make their way back. I think the one that hurts a lot is the fact that Jacob Manu will be taking his leave potentially from the University of Arizona. That makes me a little bit concerned because, again, you're talking about a guy who was a captain on the defense, was one of those guys that everyone was kind of looking to be the anchor of that unit. And, yeah, the injuries were a bit disappointing in regards to his last season here, but I'm waiting with bated breath to see what potentially could happen because, again, now is the time when Brett and his staff that he's going to try to put together, this is what they have to do. It's not just about getting new guys to join your squad. It's about getting the guys that need to stay on your squad. So how that staff is going to do that, I would be interested to see how much effort they'll put in to try and keep Jacob Manu on for another season.
They better put all the effort in.
Yeah, no.
Come on.
Exactly.
That's a dude who, he's been their best defensive player since he stepped on campus, right, DK?
Pretty much,
I mean, he has been the guy who has called plays, the guy who has dictated how that defense is going to go. The issue there is you heard, Coach Brennan at the end on his outgoing presser was leap of faith was the term he used, right? Mm-hmm. You got to, how are you going to get buy-in from returning players to commit to coming back to this coaching staff? And you look at a guy like Manu, clearly one of the top 10 linebackers of the country. If he doesn't see a future Dragon Ball where maybe there's a New Year's Day type bowl and some exposure in his near future, that might be a direction that he's looking to go into. I don't know the young man's mindset, but clearly, I mean, they've always been about, all those Servette guys are about building the Arizona football brand into something that it hadn't been in recent years. That was their stated goal, all those guys. So the fact that T-Mac is now, everybody's first or second wide receiver on the draft boards, and the other guys, it's just, I mean, I think injuries, DK, is the thing I think of. It's not a failed goal to bring that name back up to where it should be. They just didn't have a shot this year to do that because so many guys didn't actually get in games.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we've got a lot to get into today. Obviously, wrapping up the weekend. We've got Monday Night Football coming up for you tonight. The Cincinnati Bengals at the Dallas Cowboys.
The Simpsons game.
The Simpsons game? Why is that?
Because the Disney Plus is going to have Homer and
what do they got
Bart
going on?
They got Homer and Bart leading the pack or something.
I heard this, the Simpsons game. I heard something about a Madden game coming up where they're going to be playing Madden or something during it. And I guess
I'm not sure. I know that they were going to do
Ocho
something.
Cinco is maybe that's next week's game.
They did something about that last night. But I do know that there's apparently going to be some NBA Cup, Emirates Cup games that are going to look like NBA 2K too. So there's going to do a lot of video game installation with a lot of these broadcasts coming up.
All right. Well, we'll talk to Dragon Ball again in the 5 o'clock hour, get his thoughts on what's happening on a number of different topics. But he is in for cricket all week, getting you home safely every 20 minutes on the 5.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We have an incident reported over at North Cotero Road and East I-10 Frontage Road. This is going northbound on Cotero. As you approach the I-10, you're going to see a little bit of slowing there, so do go ahead and be watching out for that if you're trying to get to the I-10 from Cotero. Also, we have a traffic light malfunction at Valencia Road and Tucson Boulevard. Yes, that is right out in front of the Tucson Airport. So if you are trying to get to the Tucson Airport right now, add a couple minutes to your wait time because you have to go through that intersection while the light malfunctioning right now. For your weather right now, we're still at about 70 degrees. We won't be cooling off until about 5 o'clock or so, but we will be getting to the mid-50s here by about 8 o'clock. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500. Discount on eligible product only and reflected in quote. Restrictions apply. See Pro Desk for details. MVP's Pro Rewards program subject to terms.
So you have approval to order more.
Oh, it's just me, guys. Why are you dressed like that? It's my polar bear costume.
I almost called the exterminator.
Just trying to drum up business for winter Alaska vacations. Since when are polar bears so short?
Gary, Alaskan AC doesn't have to do silly stunts. People all over town love our Alaska vacations.
Who else promises no breakdowns for a full year? Check this out.
Don't do that here.
Well, when I spin the sign outside, it looks awesome. I thought Wrecking Ron's office was pretty awesome.
Gary, I love your enthusiasm, but I don't think we need you dressed up in a polar bear costume to tell people about our winter Alaska vacations.
Everyone knows Alaskan AC does more than just tune up the heater.
We clean, tighten, calibrate, and polish the heater so it's good as new.
So good, we guarantee no breakdowns for an entire year.
Now take off that silly costume.
Okay.
And give it to William.
What?
You're more polar bear sized.
You've got to be kidding me. I'm not putting this.
Oh, and schedule now at alaskanac.com.
I'm here to announce the new collaboration, the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. Presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop.
You're invited to a historic day for Tucson on Saturday, December 28th.
I'll be there.
This is big time Tucson with the Tailgate Festival starting at 10 a.m.
Will you be there?
Then at 2:30, it's the only bowl game with all net proceeds to charities.
We'll see you there.
With tickets at thearizonabowl.com, it's doggone good for Tucson. Tickets at thearizonabowl.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
You okay?
I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Come on in to Total Wine & More. Prices much lower than a grocery store. Spirits, wine, beer for a whole lot less. Walking down the aisles makes you stop and say, yes! From mixing cocktails, a friendly get-together, or a brunch outdoors, Total Wine has everything you need. And more. With the lowest prices and best selection for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Make the right choice for your home when it comes to windows and doors. For more than 20 years, the Window Depot has provided the best price and biggest inventory on in-stock windows and doors. The Window Depot is open to the public, so whether you're a homeowner or a contractor, you can shop the enormous warehouse. Browse the shelves with over 1,000 vinyl windows, interior and patio doors, and skylights in several varieties and sizes available to go home today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot. Best price, biggest inventory.
'Tis the season for spreading joy, love, and for... Find a new vehicle. Oro Ford's year-end sale is going on now with deals that'll brighten your holiday. Save up to $11,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ford Edges, up to $10,000 on new 2024 Ford F-150s, and up to $8,000 on new 2024 Ford Super Duty trucks. And with no dealer add-ons and zero city sales tax, you'll save thousands more. This holiday season, take the easy drive from anywhere in Tucson and save at Oro Ford's year-end sale. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. Shock of all shocks, what do you know? The two-time defending champion Kansas City Chiefs find a way to barely win another close game and pull it right out of their backside. I mean, at this point, it starts to feel like we're being trolled, right? That doink last night, that end of the game almost feels like a taunt. The Chiefs just have their backup kicker in their bouncing game-winning kicks off the upright, almost like he's just doing it for fun. Just mocking us, just taunting us. Like there's nothing they can do to lose anyway. Might as well have a little fun and get creative with it. Only these dudes can look so average all season long and still be sitting right here on December 9th at 12-1. And as much as I think this is going to catch up with them, it has not yet caught up with them. But it has to, right? I would say so, except that's the same thing I've been saying for a month now, and it still hasn't bitten them in the back.
Get last-minute gift and stocking stuffers now at O'Reilly Auto Parts. For the do-it-yourselfer on your list, save $10 on a Power Torque Tools 39-piece tool set in an ammo can-style case. The Armor All gift pack is the perfect gift for that hard-to-buy-for person. And you can save $5 now. Shop your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Your new Total Wine & More in Mesa has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine & More. Now open at Superstition Gateway West, same plaza as Walmart. Drink responsibly, B21.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wright says he's ready. Here's the snap. Ball down. The kick is on the way. It is off the upright and good. And Kansas City wins. The ball went off the left upright and went through. And the Chiefs have won the game 19-17. Kansas City wins a 15th consecutive one-score game, and along with it, wins their 9th straight AFC West title.
Arizona Wildcat grad Ryan Radke with the call last night. You heard it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. The Chiefs do it again, win another game late, down to their third-string kicker because Harrison Butker got hurt. Then whoever replaced Harrison Butker is hurt. And so now you're down to your third-string kicker. But that's a championship teams just find a way to win. I mean, my wife and I were sitting there watching that game at home, and the guy the guy kicked the ball right, and I was like, oh, my God, this looks like it might not be good. And then it just skidded through the left upright, doink off into the night for a win.
I like the live television call because of the doink part, right? Because that was in real time. Here it is.
This is for the division, for the Chiefs. And right off the upright and in for the division. It's the doink for the division.
The doink for the division.
Yeah, in real time, the doink for the division.
Good stuff there. Good stuff there.
You know, when I was growing up, I watched a lot of Niners, and I watched a lot of Joe Montana, and I used to marvel at how those ducks came out of his hand. He never threw a perfect spiral, but somehow, some way, DK, they won every single close game, right? Was that 15-0 in their last one-score games for Patrick Mahomes? I mean, I know he's not solely responsible for that, but that's a remarkable stat. 15 consecutive one-score wins.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable 15 one-score games for sure. I mean, that's when you know you're living right. To think that they've won the division almost 10 years in a row now is just stunning to think that they've been that good for so long. But that is what it has been. So congratulations to the Chiefs and company. They are now headed. They've won the division, so they don't really have any reason to beat the Browns coming up this Sunday in Cleveland, which is where they'll play next. All right, again, our question of the day, did Saturday's performance against Southern Utah, are you feeling any better about U of A basketball right now? Head on over to our Twitter account at Wildcats1290. You can vote in that poll right there. Let's see what the early results are saying. 57% of you early on saying no, not feeling any better about the current state of U of A basketball after a win over Southern Utah. 29% of you saying the jury is still out. That was my vote. 14% of you saying any win cures all. So head on over right now to Twitter, or you can message us on any of our social media accounts. Facebook, the post is up there as well. You can send us a message about what you think right now as it relates to University of Arizona basketball. We will get into all of that coming up a little bit later. Rapid fire, a lot of things happened this weekend. The Cardinals lost their third straight in a row. Just when I thought that I was ready to really try and buy in on Kyler Murray, we get yesterday. And and in the second, it might have been the late first quarter, second quarter, might have been overlapping. He threw interceptions on back-to-back passes. And at that point, the game, the Seahawks turned both of those interceptions into points. And at that point, the game was probably over. I mean, you just can't be that quarterback at the end of every year that stumbles and bumbles through November. And that's what Kyler Murray has been his entire time. He's been that guy. I mean, these have not been teams, even when they were good, even when they were playing well, they always seem to just lose steam in November and December. I should have said November. I meant December because college November, NFL December. But you can't be losing steam when the games matter the most. Just hearkening back to what we were just talking about the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs, man, they're picking up steam. They find ways to win. The Cardinals, they just figure out ways to lose every single week. It's very disappointing.
Yeah, the last 3 weeks, his quarterback rating's been in the 70s and low 80s this past weekend. So, and that's coming off 126 in that win over the Jets.
UA women's basketball will play UC Bakersfield tomorrow, one of my many old hometowns. That'll be a 6 o'clock start tomorrow night at McHale Center. And then, so we've got McHale Center, we've got women's basketball on Tuesday night. And then on Wednesday night, we've got the next round, the Elite Eight, the Great Eight, I think they're calling it, the Great Eight of and it is, last week, I guess I must be half dyslexic because I kept calling it the NVIC, which made no sense to me, but it is in fact the NIVC, National Invitational Volleyball Championships. So the NIVC, Arizona Wildcats played in that Saturday night. They swept Pacific. Great match. Went over there after we got done here and had a chance to check the ladies out. Decent crowd. I was hoping there'd be a few more people there, but not a big crowd not a bad crowd, I should say, for NIVC.
So the NVIC is the National Vaccine Information Center that you've been sending people to. So.
Make sure you get your shots. Always make sure you get your shots.
There was some other news this weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot of news. That's where we're going rapid fire through all of the news this weekend. Oh, yeah.
I think a team from Ohio may be involved.
Yeah, but it wasn't the team I wanted. But it is a team from Ohio. With so much drama in the LBC, I'm kind of hard being Snoop Deal Double DK.
I got the instrumental version, so we don't get in trouble.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for some lyrics, and then I figured out that I have to bring my own lyrics. May I kick a little field goal from this 30 and... Yeah, there we go. I was the DJ, not the rapper, back in the day. Okay, yeah. Arizona Bowl announced yesterday. I didn't get a chance to get over there. A lot going on this weekend, but did not get over to the announcement. But it is Colorado State for the second time. They were here a number of years ago. I believe they played Nevada, if I'm not mistaken, a number of years ago when they were here before, and that game may have gone to overtime. They will take on Miami of Ohio from the Mid-American Conference. I had said, what did I say? I said on Saturday, Bowling Green and UNLV was what I was hoping for. But instead, we get Miami and Colorado State. We'll talk to Kim Adair coming up at 4 o'clock about the two teams coming here for the first Snoop Bowl. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll have some tickets, hopefully, to give away for that coming up here in the next couple of weeks. That is just one of many of the bowls that were announced, including the college football playoff. Of course, when we left you on Saturday, we knew that Arizona State was going to be playing in that event, and they are, in fact, a number 4 or top 4 seed getting a bye. They're headed to the Peach Bowl as the 4th seed. So a bye in the first round for Arizona State, and I believe they're playing the winner of Ohio State and Tennessee, I believe is how that's going to work out for them. Is that right? No, they're
all I know is the Alamo Bowl. People are
5-12.
very happy.
5-12.
That's what I know.
The Alamo Bowl. Oh, yeah, they get Colorado.
No, I think they got Colorado. Yeah.
Colorado and who's Michigan? Or no?
No, Michigan. That's what I was actually thinking. I got it confused. Michigan
and Alabama.
Yeah, right. So that's the old Hall of Fame Bowl that's in Tampa. It's now sponsor named. I don't know what it is, but they got really lucky. I was thinking of that bowl because last year's national champions and the perennial national championship favorites both struggled this year. So as far as like big names, those bowls that aren't in the college football playoff lineup,
right?
They're just looking for as many. They're looking for the biggest name and the biggest fan base they possibly can. And as far as the non-playoff bowls, I mean, having Michigan and Alabama involved, I'm sure that they'll get their money's worth.
The ReliaQuest Bowl is what they're calling that one.
And
it's on New Year's Eve. Colorado and BYU. That'll be a good one. That's a Big 12 matchup, but that is because that is again, if you don't remember, the Pac-12 teams are still tied to the Pac-12 bowls for this year and next year. And the Alamo Bowl obviously was a Big 12 Pac-12 matchup. And so this year it's a Big 12 matchup because Colorado is essentially filling the Pac-12 seat in that particular bowl game. So,
that's cool because they didn't match up this year.
Yeah, and they didn't play this year. So that'll be definitely a good one to watch for sure. So the college football playoff, look, the only problem I have with this whole thing was that I didn't think Boise State should have gotten a bye. I don't think that the Group of 5 team. Look, the Group of 5 team absolutely deserves to be in. The best Group of 5 team should be in. Should they get a bye? Should they be one of the top 4 teams? I don't think that that's the case at all. I think the Power 4 champions should be the 4 byes. So that's the only major issue that I had. I don't care about any of the other stuff. I don't care Alabama, this, that, Ole Miss, this, that, Greg Byrne crying, wah, 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 we didn't get in, wah, we're going to take a look at how we schedule, wah. Greg, come on, give me a break. We're Alabama, we deserve to be in, wah. I don't care about any of that. I'm glad SMU got in. This is the only other thing I was happy about. I was happy SMU got in. I was unhappy that the other Power 4 champion, which was Clemson, did not get a bye because I thought the Power 4 team should get the bye. So other than that, I whoever they pick is fine with me.
Greg Byrne is so sad because it's the 21st consecutive bowl game for Alabama. So sad.
I will watch for the first time in a long time. I stopped watching the previous playoff because I didn't like the setup, so I wouldn't support it. I will watch this because, again, the only thing that I ever had a problem with was that all the champions didn't get in. I thought all the champions should get in and have a chance to play for the title. The rest of it, to me, is immaterial. I don't care how they seed it or any of that. Whoever else they pick, doesn't matter to me. Whatever 12 teams you want to put in there, as long as we have the 4 champions, that's the only thing that mattered to me. All right, so we can talk about that, how you feel about it, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Much more. We got another long list. We crowned another state champion in football. We'll let you hear from Mica Mountain coming up. We had Brittany Boy was up there covering that game for us. We'll try to get those guys on either tomorrow or Wednesday this week as well. But let's hear what they had to say after the game. Mica Mountain wins their first state championship. You'll hear from Josiah Thornwell and head coach Pat Nugent on the show coming up a little bit later. Right now, you're going to hear from Dragon Ball because he's getting you home in place of cricket every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We have an accident with possible injuries in downtown 6th Avenue and East Pennington Street, causing slowing there, particularly on 6th. We also have an accident with injuries reported over at West Ajo Way and South Mission Road. This is causing a lot of slowing on Mission as you approach the intersection there. For your weather, we're still in those 70s. We're not going to be cooling down until about 5. Later on tonight, we'll get to the mid-50s. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Our Black Friday week of savings has been extended into December. Right now, every set of tires is on sale, and you can stack on manufacturer's rebates for even more savings, up to $180 more. We've also got popular maintenance services at up to 50% off to get you road trip ready for your holiday travel. And beyond the amazing low total tire prices, we'll include Jack's Plus Pack, a dozen tire-related services like touchless mounting, computerized balancing, new rubber stems, including the reset for tire pressure monitoring systems. Plus, you'll also get a lifetime of tire maintenance, rotations, rebalancing, and tire repairs. Jack's Plus Pack is a $249 value, and it's included with your new set of tires. We'll even throw in a free wheel alignment check if you want it, and it's all at the guaranteed lowest price. Get ready for holiday travel at any of Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care's 14 area locations. Call, stop by, or visit us online. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
Don't let cold season make you miserable. Try the quick, drug-free solution for nasal congestion, Navage. Navage uses gentle suction to flush out your sinuses with refreshing saline, helping you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all winter long. And here's even better news. Navage is now available at select warehouse clubs in a great new value pack. It's everything you need to start breathing better fast. Check out Navage at your local retailer today. Navage, Navage. Breathe easy.
If you've been too busy to sign up for your health insurance plan, it's understandable. It's also why there's Health Markets. At healthmarkets.com, you can see the plans available to you and even speak to a licensed insurance agent. Just dial pound 250 and say Health Markets. They'll answer your questions, and when you're ready, even help you apply. Just dial pound 250 and say Health Markets. Getting your new health insurance plan could be easier than you think. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
When you donate a toy, we will donate a toy.
It's our annual gift back to our community.
We're collecting new unwrapped toys for Toys for Tots.
And for every toy you donate, we'll donate another. For every dollar you donate, we'll match it.
At Alaskan AC, we believe every kid should have a gift under the tree on Christmas morning.
That's why we've partnered with the Marine Corps Toys for Tots once again. Since 1947, they've collected over 670 million toys, putting smiles on the faces of over 300 million kids.
And your donations stay right here in town. You can stop by our offices or hand your donation to one of our polar bears when they are at your home.
Alaskan AC loves having fun, but we're serious about helping kids. So serious, we're matching your donation.
We'll donate a toy for every one you donate
and match cash donations dollar for dollar.
Let's make sure every child has a Merry Christmas.
For our location or to schedule service, find us at alaskanac.com.
This is Jim Rome with a Sports Minute. I was fascinated by the so-called Kirk Cousins Bowl. Unfortunately for Kirk, he lost the Kirk Cousins Bowl and did not play especially well for the Atlanta Falcons. He had a couple of picks, and he got his head handed to him by the team that he left last offseason. And on top of that, completely outplayed and shown up by Sam Darnold, the guy that replaced him. I'm Jim Rome.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I'm releasing your Monday Night Report absolutely free on a recorded message line, 1-800-244-5506. Cincinnati at Dallas. Cincy's offensive line provides excellent protection for the quarterback, allowing him to make plays in the pocket. Dallas' defensive line has been more disruptive this season, generating pressure on quarterbacks and stopping the run. Tonight is going to be a monster game. I got the side and total. That's two big plays. John Anthony has you covered. Call now. Hear him for free on a recorded message. 1-800-244-5506. Call 1-800-244-5506. You want the information? I've got it. Cincinnati, Dallas, side and total. I love to go 2-0 and get the next 7 days on me. 1-800-244-5506. That's 1-800-244-5506. Or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Sponsored by JFSR Group.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We are going rapid fire through all of the things that happened this weekend. We were talking about the college football playoff. If you have thoughts on that you want to share, please get in and do so. The semifinals obviously will be, the quarterfinals will be at the school sites. And those will be on January the 1st. So New Year's Day will be the at least two of the games. And also two of the games will be on Saturday, December the 21st. So you'll have Clemson and Texas. Three of the games will be on the 21st of December, which is a Saturday. One will be on Friday the 20th. So these will be the first round games. The first game in the playoff will be the 10-7 game, Indiana-Notre Dame. That's a good Battle of Indiana. That'll be at Notre Dame Stadium. That'll be on Friday night, December the 20th. Then on Saturday the 21st, you'll have the other three games. It'll be the 11-6 game, SMU at Penn State in State College. Number 12, Clemson at number 5, Texas. That'll be down in Austin. And number 9, Tennessee at number 8, Ohio State. So the first four games in the quarterfinals will all be at stadiums on campus. Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, and Notre Dame will get to host those games. That to me is one of the cool things about this, is that you get the playoff home games, which is something that's never happened before.
I was hoping for a Mr. February. Because if you remember Mr. Jeter, when he hit that walk-off and they called him Mr. November, it was so ridiculous because they were actually playing World Series games in November. College football championship game is on January 20th. I was just hoping, because we've always, DK, wrapped up the national championship in football by the 5th, right?
Usually more 6th? Maybe like the 8th. It's usually the second Monday. It's usually the second or first Monday, just depending on how it falls.
Yeah. Getting close to a Selection Sunday there.
Yeah, exactly. So the quarterfinals, 3 of the quarterfinals will be on New Year's Day. 1 of the quarterfinals will be on New Year's Eve. So the Fiesta Bowl will be on New Year's Eve at 7:30. That'll be Boise State versus the winner of the, if my math
Penn
is
State,
correct,
SMU.
Yeah, 11-6 game. So Penn State SMU will play Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl. Then you'll have Arizona State in the Peach Bowl, and they'll get the Clemson-Texas winner. And then obviously Oregon will be the number 1 seed. They're in the Rose Bowl, so at least you do get the Big Ten champion in the Rose Bowl. There's some semblance of normalcy there.
It could be Oregon, Ohio State.
Could be. Could be. Very well could be Oregon, Ohio State.
That would be a normal Rose Bowl year,
normal
right?
Rose Bowl right there. So if that, I would be rooting for that. So I would watch that game for sure. Then the Sugar Bowl is Georgia. So at least I like the fact that they, again, Arizona State hasn't really been to enough big-time bowl games that they, again, they're a Pac-12 team, so they would have never played in the Peach Bowl in any other cycle. But you've got Oregon in the Rose Bowl, you got Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. That all makes sense. And then in the Orange Bowl, that'll be the semifinal game, the Orange Bowl and the Cotton Bowl on January 9th. That's a Thursday, and Friday, January 10th. Those will be the semifinal games, and then your championship game will be at Atlanta on the 20th of January. So that's what you got there in terms of the college football playoff. You want to read? We talked about Greg Byrne. You want to read, J-Dub, what Mr. Byrne, the former athletics director here at the University of Arizona, had to say
I can do that,
about
yes.
his team being left out.
So the idea behind this post was that, with 3 losses, Alabama did not make the college football playoff for the first time in its history. That's an exaggeration, but might as well be. And Greg Byrne said today on Twitter, disappointed with the outcome, and we felt we were one of the 12 best teams in the country. We had an extremely challenging schedule and recognized there are 2 games in particular that we did not perform as well as we should have. We have said that we would need to see how strength of schedule would be evaluated by this college football playoff committee. With this outcome, we will need to assess how many Power 4 non-conference games make sense in the future to put us in the best position to participate in the college football playoff. That is not good for college football. With that said, we do not need to hang our heads. Now we need to finish the season strong. We have a great group of young men that led us to what Coach DeBoer through the year, and we look forward to our opportunity in the Relia Quest Bowl. Now, the real undercurrent here, DK, is the idea of scheduling difficult opponents in your non-conference to buoy the college football playoff committee's decision-making towards the end. You want your strength of schedule to be high. So he's saying that they intentionally tried to make some tough non-conference opponents so that they could help elevate their – obviously, we all know the SEC has always been a really tough league to win in. But the irony being that they didn't lose any of those non-conference games. They lost all 3 of their games in the SEC. So at the end of the day, he's complaining about their scheduling non-conference when the non-conference schedule had nothing to do with why they are not in the college football playoff.
And they only played the only hard game they played was Wisconsin, right? And I think they played that game on the road and they won by 32 points.
Yes, they did.
So I don't get it. But hey. Alabama will Alabama.
Yeah,
whatever.
well, that's it. I think when you are the athletics director for the University of Alabama, you have to complain if your team's not playing for the national championship. That's the job, right?
Right. I guess so. I guess that is the job for sure. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. I had said yesterday, and I mentioned it again today, that the only issue I had was that Boise got a bye. I didn't think they should have gotten a bye. I'm fine with them being in, but I didn't think they should have gotten a bye. I was happy that SMU got in. Justin Ihnen, I don't know if you pronounce it, Ihnen, responds and says, Boise State being in as a bye proves Power 4 is not everything. This gives more power to others that haven't been able to hold any power in decades. If this was the playoff in 2006, you wouldn't even have a say in Boise, who was undefeated and won the Fiesta Bowl.
DK, the other thing Boise has going for them is they played Oregon
and
better than any
3
other team outside of Ohio State.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they only lost to Oregon by 3 points. 34 to 37 was that final.
Right. I mean, it was a great game. It was a great game. They just, again, they didn't, the level of schedule maybe didn't match, but when they did go out there and play against ranked teams, they showed themselves well. And Ashton Genty is by far the best running back in the country. I don't think anybody would dispute or disagree with that. 520-848-1290 if you want to have your thoughts on the college football playoff. Do you like it? Are you happy with it? Did you think some teams should have gotten in that didn't get in?
I mean, people have been complaining for so damn long about 4 teams. They better be happy with 12, right?
Exactly. I mean, there's no again, like I said, I'm as long as the power conference championships are in it, I don't care about the rest. I don't care how you seed the rest of it. I don't care who you give the other 8 spots to. As long as Clemson and Oregon and who else? And Arizona State and Georgia, as long as those 4 teams are in it, I don't care about the other 8 teams. You can give them to whoever.
I think in the past it's very easy to point to the 5th team in the nation and say that team could have potentially beaten one of the 4 teams that made it in, right? I don't think that's the case anymore. So, no. I mean, if that's what fans have been clamoring for, is that you had enough representation from around the country that the playoff format actually lent itself to a true national champion. I mean, it was a long time ago, DK, when they used to just poll. I mean, how long has the college football playoff been going on now? About 18 years, something like that?
Yeah, I was around, maybe early 2000s?
Yeah, so, I mean, college students now don't even remember a time before they actually had the 4 teams in. But I think 12 is a good number. I don't know that you want to really go too much beyond that. But this year, I mean, you might complain if you're an Alabama Crimson Tide fan, but you shouldn't have lost 3 games. I mean, there's always going to be a team that complains, but those 12 teams, best 12 teams in the country, I agree with you. I think the 4 power schools should get the byes. Beyond that, may the best team win.
And now that I'm thinking about it, did any of the Power 4 finalists of conference champions, because that was the other debate, was that, why should you even play in your conference championship game if you could potentially lose your way out of that? But I don't think any of those teams did not get in from the conference
Oregon and Penn State,
games.
Right?
Well, I guess you could say, Iowa State didn't get in. So obviously
Georgia and Texas played. They both got in.
Right.
So, yeah, those 4 got in.
So all got in. All of the 4 Power 4 conference games, the only team that didn't get in was Iowa State. That was the only team that did not get into the playoff. Arizona State, Penn State, Oregon, Georgia, Texas, Clemson, SMU all got in. Iowa State was the only one that made a Power 4 conference championship game and didn't get in. And that was the other debate was should those teams, or should a team playing in the conference championship game from a Power 4 not lose and then be knocked out for a team that didn't play? For instance, like an Ohio State or Notre Dame, who did not have to play this past weekend, so there was no opportunity for them to lose out. So that's the other debate. And we can have that conversation as well. Again, I don't know that Iowa State, they weren't hot down the stretch. If Iowa State had won 4 of their last 5 or 3 of their last 4 instead of losing 3 of their last 4, then we might be able to have a conversation about them getting left out and it being kind of a bad thing.
And that 9-point loss to 5-7 Kansas did not help their cause.
No, and then getting blown out by Arizona State. And kudos to Arizona State, man. It's a great story. It pains us down here, obviously in Tucson and U of A Nation. But wow, I mean, to be picked to finish last and to be in the college football playoff with what they've been able to do is pretty impressive. All right, we can also talk about the transfer portal coming up in the next hour. We're going to get into the Arizona Bowl, and it's Colorado State versus Miami of Ohio. Kim Adair will join us. DK on the Sports Tip. You are listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. We have an incident just south of the Tanque Verde swap meet over at South Palo Verde Road and Michigan Street. This does have reported injuries, so do prepare for some slowdown there. Also, accident with possible injuries reported at South Mission Road and West Irvington. For your weather, still in the 70s. We won't be cooling off until about 5 o'clock or so, but later on tonight we'll be getting into those mid-50s, about 54 or so at 8 o'clock. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by KFC. 'Tis the season to fill your table and feed the whole family with KFC's Festive Feast. Get 6 original recipe tenders, 6 pieces of classic fried chicken, 2 sides, and 3 sauces for just $25.99.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, There was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Online, on your phone with the Freedom 1400 app, on your smart speaker, or on the air. No matter how you listen, stay on the right side of the conversation all day long with Freedom 1400 AM. Start your morning with Brian Kilmeade from 6 to 9 a.m., followed by Dan Bongino keeping it fiery until noon. Then Chris Plant takes over from noon to 3, and you can drive home with Jimmy Fallon from 3 to 6 p.m.
Conservative talk for Tucson is Freedom
1400 AM.
It's another episode in the continuing story of Tobacco Barn's fight to save Tucsonans on their favorite tobacco products.
The other store prices are so high.
I'm Captain Tobacco.
My hero.
Who's responsible for these outrageous prices? I am. Pardon me while I teach this fellow some manners.
At Tobacco Barn, save up to 40%. Pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation. And save up to $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Hooray! When your tobacco savings are stolen, get to Tobacco Barn.
Get up to 40% off. Pay no city or state sales tax. And up to another $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Captain Tobacco, I could just kiss you.
I know, ma'am. Animal magnetism. It's a gift I have to live with.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
'Tis the season for spreading joy, love, and for buying a new vehicle. Oro Ford's year-end sale is going on now with deals that'll brighten your holiday. Save up to $11,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ford Edges, up to $10,000 on new 2024 Ford F-150s, and up to $8,000 on new 2024 Ford Super Duty trucks. And with no dealer add-ons and zero city sales tax, you'll save thousands more. This holiday season, take the easy drive from anywhere in Tucson and save at Oro Ford's year-end sale. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
KTUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The one and only home of Arizona baseball. Pre- and post-game coverage, play-by-play, and live press conferences. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Mount Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names. David Scott Kelly.
Yeah, let's talk about the drama in the TUC. Miami of Ohio. The Redhawks, from my part of the country. Maction against Colorado State. The Rams making their second appearance here in Tucson. It is the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, the first edition of this particular brand of the game. Now in its 10th season here in the El Pueblo. I'm pleased to be joined by the executive director of the Arizona Bowl, Kim Adair, joins us. And Kim, congratulations on another exciting bowl season in which you landed on 2 teams for the game here on December the 28th. And now my first question is does the selection change from year to year? Is it basically the same type of situation that you deal with? Did you deal with anything different this year than maybe you hadn't dealt with in the past in terms of selecting your two teams?
So, hi, David. Good to talk to you. So this year for us is actually a little more stable than usual. I think the only difference really this year was that we had Boise State, which was in the Mountain West, whether they were going to go up to the CFP or not. And then that ripple down effect for the rest of the bowl pecking order. But once that became pretty clear that Boise State was going up, it became pretty easy for us to figure out which team we were going to be able to take.
All right, so let's start with the Mountain West Conference then. With Boise State going then, what did you guys like about Colorado State?
Colorado State on any given day could have given UNLV and Boise State a run for their money when they were playing at their best. This is a very solid team that played some great football this year. They're under the coach, Jay Norvell, who actually coached our game a few years ago when he was the head coach of Nevada. So this is a terrific team that, they're going to be one of the best teams in the Mountain West for many, many years. And so we were really excited to be able to bring them back to Tucson. Colorado State came our first year. So now in our 10th year, we're excited to have them back here.
Colorado State finished third in the Mountain West. They're 8-4 overall. They finished 6-1, tied for second place with UNLV, but did not get the bid to the conference championship game where UNLV lost to Boise State in Boise on Friday night. Over on the Mid-American Conference side, Miami finished tied for first and lost in the title game. Were they in the title game with Ohio, or was it? Yeah, they were in the title game, correct? Yeah, they were in the title game with Ohio.
The MAC Conference Championship. Yeah, they played that last Saturday against Ohio and lost to Ohio in that game.
So now seems just on, and then you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it just looks like that you're getting higher seeding or higher placement teams than you have in the past. I mean, you got the second place team or the team that finished tied for first in the MAC and the third place team in the Mountain West, where it seems like in the past it might have been third, fourth place teams. Am I correct in what I'm seeing there?
Yeah, so a lot of that depends on how it all works out for the pecking order. Last year we had Wyoming, and they were probably the fourth or fifth place team in Mountain West. But that's just because there were some weird things happening in the bowl selection process that year, right? Like Guaranteed Rate Bowl had a Big 12 relationship, but Big 12 didn't have enough teams to send them, so they had to go to their backup agreement, which was at the Mountain West, which then, plugged them ahead of our pick. And so there are some weird things that happen in the background of bowl selections that, I don't want to bore your listeners with. But for this year, it was actually pretty straightforward. We knew, earlier in the week, likely we were going to be able to take.
We're chatting with Kim Adair. She's the executive director of the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. Let people know a little bit about Miami of Ohio and what you guys have found out about them and what we can expect from that club.
Yeah, again, this is a really, really good football team. As you mentioned, they were in the MAC Conference Championship against Ohio. In fact, all of the talking heads believed Miami was going to win that game. They were the conference champions last year. This is a solid football team with great coaching. Again, one of the top in their conference. And putting these two teams head-to-head, I think, is going to really be a great matchup for us. We have a reputation of putting together great matchups and having, top 10 games, when it's all said and done. And we think we put together another one of those matchups this year.
And obviously, this will be the first year that Snoop Dogg has the affiliation with the Arizona Bowl here. That has a lot of folks excited. Kind of walk me through the next few weeks as we ramp up for the teams arriving, which is generally right around Christmas time, and when we might get the Snoop sighting here in southern Arizona. Is it going to be right on game day? Is it going to be before game day? When might Snoop get down here?
Yeah, I think you're going to have to go to the game to see Snoop. I mean, Snoop's going to be here for the game, and that's the most important part. You might see him in other places, but for sure, the best place to see him is buy a ticket and come to the game. And that's really the best thing for our community, because buying a ticket really helps us provide cash back to local charities who need added support this year. And so it's a win-win-win for everybody. Buy a ticket and come see Snoop, enjoy a great football game, and know you're giving back to local charities.
And obviously, this is always more about just the football game. A lot of other ancillary events, pep rallies. The teams will get out and do some community events. And then, of course, New Year's Eve. Who do we have playing on New Year's Eve this year?
We've got a great cover band out of Las Vegas coming this year for New Year's Eve called the Lucky Devils.
The Lucky Devils,
and they're
okay.
they're going to be playing the top hits from the last few decades, and they're fantastic. It's a 12-piece band. There's going to be something for everybody. We definitely want people to come out and see our Taco Bell New Year's Eve downtown bowl bash. We've got fireworks provided by O'Reilly Chevrolet, a silent disco by Tucson Federal Credit Union. It's going to be so much fun on New Year's Eve downtown in Congress.
Same location as last year, right next to the neighborhood bar down there.
Exactly, exact same location across from the Hexagon building or the Monica. There's a big parking lot there that we take over, and it's going to be so much fun. And then at midnight, of course, we have our
Taco
touchdown.
Taco
Our touchdown.
Always one of the most exciting things that you can see on New Year's Eve here in Southern Arizona is the taco. How many years is this now? Is this like 5-6 years for the taco touchdown? I know it. I think it goes back to right before COVID or right sometime around 18 or 19.
I think we started it in 19. Yeah.
Okay.
2019.
Whose idea was that, by the way?
Was
that your idea?
There's a lot of ideas that come out of a team, but I'll tell you that was my idea. And the reason why is because I grew up in Scottsdale, and every year we went to the Fiesta Bowl New Year's Eve party. And I thought, why don't we have a community New Year's Eve party? And why don't we wrap it around the bowl and keep our fans that travel into Tucson here even longer, give them other things to do, keep them here eating at our restaurants, eating at our hotels a little longer while giving back to Southern Arizona for a great community New Year's Eve event. And so that's why we decided to do it.
So you came up with this idea as a young teen attending the Fiesta Bowl New Year's Eve party.
Well, I had that experience growing up, and I thought, why can't we do that here?
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
How is this role for you? How has this grown since you took over control of this bowl game? What new things, I guess, do you learn from year to year about the process of running a bowl game?
Well, I think, what we do isn't necessarily rocket science, David. It's just doing about a million things in a very particular order. And so the challenge of that is always, interesting because new things, are jumping onto that checklist. But I think the most challenging part is really the dynamics of college football right now, and not really knowing what's happening in the future and how to negotiate our contracts. Because we don't really know what the conferences will be or who they will be made up of. And so I think that plus, the NIL and the transfer portal and all of these things that add, new complications and layers to what we're doing is probably the most challenging piece.
It is. It seems like there's something new every year in college football that kind of keeps us on our toes and keeps us thinking. Would you have any thoughts on the playoff and how those 12 teams transpired? Are you into that?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it worked out great. I think, there's some of the Power 5 conferences. I think we're a little surprised that Boise State got that auto bid.
I said that was the only thing I was against. I didn't think they should have gotten the one of the top 4 spots. I thought those should have been reserved for the Power 4s. And then if you want to make them 5, make them 5. But I didn't think they should have gotten a bye.
Yeah, I think that's, there's so much that's up for debate. And I know that there are folks in that room who are trying to figure out the best way to do this, especially this being the first year. But I also think we absolutely need to give credence to the power of these Group of Five conferences. There are some great players, great schools in these conferences who deserve the same type of attention and ability to progress in the college football playoffs as the other, Power Four conferences. And so, I know that there's a lot of debate around Boise State. I was happy to see them go. I'm excited for them. I texted their athletic director and said, I've got my tickets for Atlanta. I hope to see you in the finals. So I'm rooting for them.
So how many places did you get to go watch games this year? Did you go out to watch a number of the teams?
Members of our team go out, so we all kind of rotate through that. But I got to go to a couple of games this year. It was, of course, when New Mexico came and played University of Arizona. I was there.
Okay.
On the New Mexico side, actually. So, but I'll tell you, I watch a lot of football, more than you would expect. And I always think that it's funny. People say, my husband comes home and I'm watching football on Saturday, and then he wants to watch football on Sunday, and I don't want to watch any more football on Sunday.
You're like, my TV on Saturdays, your TV on Sundays.
Exactly.
That is awesome. That is awesome. It is the Snoop Dogg Gin and Juice Arizona Bowl coming up Saturday, December the 28th at Arizona Stadium. Get your tickets now. Let folks know where they can get tickets, Kim, please.
You can go to thearizonabowl.com and click on tickets, or go straight to SeatGeek and look for the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl.
And I'm sure we'll have giveaways for groups. You want to shout out any of the groups? Like, I know you guys get groups or tickets to the veterans and that kind of thing. Is there any of that you can speak about right now?
Yeah, we have a terrific Heroes program. So if you can't go to the game or just want to support us, you can buy groups of tickets for Heroes to attend the game, and then we will invite those folks to sit in those seats. And you can find more information about that at our website as well, thearizonabowl.com.
Outstanding. Kim, we always appreciate the work that you and all of the folks over there, the Red Jackets and the Blue Jackets, do for this community with this fabulous bowl game, and we're looking forward to the teams getting here and kick off on the 28th.
Thanks so much, David. I appreciate you having me today.
Absolutely. Kim Adair, Executive Director of the Arizona Bowl. It is Colorado State from the Mountain West Conference and Miami of Ohio, the Redhawks from the Mid-American Conference. Redhawks got stomped a little bit in the MAC championship game over in Detroit, 38-3. They had won 7 games in a row going into that contest. As you heard Kim say, a lot of people thought that they would win because they were on such a hot streak. But Ohio, who came here, I want to say 2 years ago, maybe, if I remember correctly, Ohio came here and won the Arizona Bowl. I remember I shot the game-winning touchdown for TV right in the end zone. The guy was coming right at me, J-Dub. Right. I'll see if I can find that video. I'll put it up on our Wildcats Radio 1290 Twitter. The guy was coming right at me, caught the ball, and they all mugged right in front of me to win the game. It was awesome that day. All right, DK on the sports tip. Much more coming up for you. We will chat also about the state championship on the football side that took place this past weekend for Mica Mountain. Tell you a little bit about that as well. Dragon Ball getting you home, though, every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We have an accident with possible injuries over at East Broadway Boulevard and Euclid Avenue. Also, incident with unknown injuries reported at South Palo Verde and East Gas Road. This is going southbound on Palo Verde, going towards the I-10, so do be aware of that for slowdown there on Palo Verde. For your weather, still in the 70s, but we're getting set to cool down here in just a little while as we get ready to drop into the 60s here by 5. I'm Dragon Ball with you, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500. Discount on eligible product only and reflected in quote. Restrictions apply. See Pro Desk for details. MVP's Pro Rewards program subject to terms.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have
summer
or
ready
have
with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
Marco! Polo! Marco! Polo!
In a giant pool of business competitors, don't be the one left unseen and out of reach. If you're a business owner and need help with your online presence, let's make it happen. Introducing Cumulus Boost. Boost your website, boost your findability, boost your reputation, boost your business.
Marco?
Yes, I'm Marco. Get a boost, get found, get on the map. Contact us today at cumulusboost.com.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Our Black Friday week of savings has been extended into December. Right now, every set of tires is on sale, and you can stack on manufacturer's rebates for even more savings, up to $180 more. We've also got popular maintenance services at up to 50% off to get you road trip ready for your holiday travel. And beyond the amazing low total tire prices, we'll include Jack's Plus Pack, a dozen tire-related services like touchless mounting, computerized balancing, new rubber stems, including the reset for tire pressure monitoring systems. Plus, you'll also get a lifetime of tire maintenance, rotations, rebalancing, and tire repairs. Jack's Plus Pack is a $249 value, and it's included with your new set of tires. We'll even throw in a free wheel alignment check if you want it, and it's all at the guaranteed lowest price. Get ready for holiday travel at any of Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care's 14 area locations. Call, stop by, or visit us online. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, we're here to get you there.
I don't feel so good.
You do feel hot. Dayquil Kids will take care of that fever.
What about my cough?
Dayquil Kids has that covered.
Will it make my throat feel better?
Yes, that too.
But will it taste good?
Yep, Dayquil Kids comes in your favorite flavor.
Purple?
Well, yes, it's grape.
Try new Dayquil Kids Plus Fever, the daytime coughing, aching, sore throat fever just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6+. Use as directed.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-511-4545. 800-511-4545. 800-511-4545.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Make Dave & Buster's a part of your weekly rituals. Military Monday, get extra gameplay on your card. Tuesday night is trivia night with great prizes. Thursday is extra credit with student discounts on gameplay after 9 p.m. Stop in Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch specials. Want more? Rewards members will get an extra 100 chips with a purchase of 100 chips and Sunday sips for hospitality workers. Full and quick service restaurants, hotels, and amusement parks. Discounted beverages and apps after 9 p.m. only at Dave & Buster's.
Listen to the home of the Wildcats wherever you are on your iPhone and iPad by downloading our new app in the App Store so you can tune in wherever you are 24 hours a day. The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
I'm Chris Rose with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Sam Darnold threw 5 touchdown passes. Vikings double up the Falcons 42-21 to spoil Kirk Cousins' return to the Twin Cities. Josh Allen threw 3 scores, ran for 3 more, but it wasn't enough. Rams topped the Bills 44-42 in a shootout. Tua threw a game-winning touchdown to Jonnu Smith in overtime as the Dolphins topped the Jets 32-26. Baker Mayfield threw for 3 touchdowns. Bucks beat the Raiders 28-13. Russell Wilson threw 2 touchdowns. Steelers topped the Browns 27-14. Jalen Hurts threw 2 scores, ran for another. Eagles held off the Panthers 22-16. Philadelphia clinches a playoff berth. Seahawks topped the Cards 30-18. Niners beat the Bears 38-13. And on Sunday Night Football, the Chiefs beat the Chargers by 2 points on a Matthew Wright game-winning field goal to clinch the AFC West for a 9th straight season. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
New holiday deals just dropped at Lowe's. Get up to 30% off select major appliances, plus an additional $75 off for every $1,000 you spend on select kitchen major appliances from brands like Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Amana, and Maytag. And don't miss big savings on DeWalt. Save $80 on a DeWalt 20-volt Max 2-tool combo kit. Was $229, now just $149. Lowe's knows deals. Offers valid 12/5 through 12/11. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for details and qualifying items while supplies last.
The current federal government is actually going $1 trillion deeper in debt every 100 days. That's why thousands are turning to Goldco, a top-rated gold company, to diversify their savings with time-tested safe haven assets, physical gold and silver. Right now, not only is Goldco offering a free gold and silver kit, but on qualified purchases, they'll give you up to a 10% instant match in bonus silver. Call 855-838-GOLD. That's 855-838-GOLD. Performance may vary. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We're taking you up to about another hour of the show today. Monday Night Football tonight. The Cincinnati Bengals at the Dallas Cowboys. And, okay, so I think I told you before, I don't know if you guys have heard, there's this thing called NFL 33 Club. And it's basically what it is you get 32 of your friends together, or 31 of your friends, if you include you. And everybody gets one team every week for the entire season. And the buy-in on this is $90 if you've never done it. It's called NFL 33 Club. Everybody buy, it's essentially $5 a week. So the buy-in is $90 for the season, $5 a week. Everybody gets a team every week. And if your team scores 33 points, then you win the pot for that week. And the pot starts at $160. And it's kind of like our Miller Lite Pigskin Challenge. If the pot if nobody wins, the pot rolls over to another week. Well, if you participate in a 33 club, then you are aware that there hasn't been nobody scored 33 points now for 6 weeks. So the pot in 33 clubs now is at $1,100. And so, of course, this week I had the Ravens. And the Ravens were on bye, so I couldn't win this week. My wife, though, has the Bengals, who play tonight. So we are cheering. We are from Cleveland, but we are cheering not for the Bengals to win, because we could care less if they win or not. We are cheering for the Bengals to score 33 points tonight, so we can win this $1,100 pot in our NFL 33 club.
Let's see. The Bengals have scored 33 points or more in 3 of their last 4 games.
Yeah, so they can do it. They can do it. Joe Burrow, baby. Burrow, baby. Go get me 33 points. Papa needs a new pair of shoes.
That's about how much a new pair of shoes costs these days.
Yeah, really. $1,100 if I want to get a really fancy pair. No, I do my shopping at DSW. I bought like 3 new pairs of tennis shoes at DSW over the summer, man. I got like 4 pairs of tennis shoes. Now, I don't think I've ever had this many pairs of tennis shoes in my life. But yeah, they were got good deals over there at DSW. So they're probably not our sponsor, but go shop there. They do very well. So and what happens is, so if no team scores 33 for the rest of the season, the pot at the end of the year will be $1,760, and then we will have Super Bowl squares. So if there's money left over at the end, we have a Super Bowl squares competition, and that's how the rest of the money gets paid out. So it'll be It will be the best ever. And what's interesting about this, I've done this now for like about, I think I've done this for about 10 years in a row now, 10 seasons in a row. And like 2 or 3 seasons, the pot was like above $800 going into the final week of the season. And everybody's thinking like, man, we're going to have a big Super Bowl Squares competition. And somebody won like on the last week of the season. So there were like three years where we never got to the Super Bowl Squares because somebody won in week 16. So we'll see how that all transpires tonight. But we got the Bengals. We got someone in our household with the Bengals tonight sitting on 33. So we are looking forward to that. All right. The Suns lose last night. And once again, they played without Kevin Durant, and they lost, which has kind of been the trend this season. 1-9 now without Kevin Durant in the lineup. 115-110. They fall on the road. This is that road trip, 4-game road trip that they're on right now. And they lose in Orlando last night. 26 points for Jalen Suggs to lead the Magic, who are now 17-9 on the season over the Suns. So the Suns fall to 12-11. They're 4-7 on the road. They can't win when KD's not in the lineup. 11 wins when he's in the lineup. 1 win when he's not in the lineup. Let's hear from the head coach, Mike Budenholzer, after a third straight Kevin Durant-less defeat.
The offensive boards hurt us tonight. Vitas, hurt us. His size, his commitment to go to the boards. We felt it. I think we got to, do more gang rebounding, participate more. But yeah, the offensive boards really throughout the game and the big one late, were a problem for us.
What was your message to the guys after a game like this?
No, the NBA is hard. We got to stay together. I think all of this will make us better. We have a good team. We have a lot of good players, a lot of belief. So, this is hard. But I think, that's when you get better. That's when you learn about yourself.
Tyus Jones got it going early for you guys, 10 points in the first quarter, finished by 3 from deep. How big was he for you and just the impact that he made?
Yeah, no, Tyus was great. He came out with an aggressive mindset tonight. I think early and really throughout the game, and so he was. I think we keep talking about. I think when he's aggressive, that's when we're at our best, and he's at his best, and he's got a tough job. We've always talked about, but I think him being aggressive is important, and he did that tonight right out of the gate.
Saw Grayson walking gingerly off the court. What's going on with him?
He has a twisted ankle, so. I think we'll see, evaluate him in the morning. Hopefully it's not too serious, but he wasn't able to return.
The other thing I had was when you're in a stretch like this, I hear you saying, stick together, the league's hard, but at the same time, are there things that were in your control, you feel like was in the team's control throughout the 3 games, that you're like, this was tightened up, would have had a better road trip?
There's, some defensive, I think quarters or stretches where we got to be a lot better. I think getting some stops in important times, getting some rebounds in important times. And then the turnovers, I think we got to clean up the turnovers. Our execution, all the things that all NBA teams are working on. So, but I think defensively, can we find a way to get more stops, finish it with a board, take care of the ball, make sure we're getting shots.
DK, Kevin Durant is one of the 5 or 10 best players in the NBA. Everybody knows that. And so it's going to be a struggle when you don't have him in the lineup. But looking at that Orlando Magic roster, we all remember Paulo Banchero was playing like an MVP in his first 5 games. He hasn't played since. He tore his oblique, his right oblique.
Right.
Well, Friday, Franz Wagner, their other superstar, tore his right oblique, and he's out for 4 weeks, or he's going to be reevaluated in 4 weeks. So that's 29 points from Paulo and 24.5 from Franz they didn't have last night in their lineup, right? More than 50 points of production wasn't there for the Orlando Magic last night. Somehow with, Jalen Suggs and the other Wagner, and obviously we heard a bit of a Gogo Batadze did his thing on the rebounding last night. The Suns have to be able to win games like that. You're playing a team that's admittedly much better than a lot of people thought they were. I think Orlando's 4th right now in the East, but they're without their 2 superstars. So the Suns got to find a way to win that game.
They do. I mean, they do. They got to get this thing back on track without Kevin Durant. Because again, you got to learn how to win without a guy like him in the lineup, and they just have not been able to get that done. And that's why there's a lot of people taking shots right now up in Phoenix at Devin Booker, because he has not been able to produce wins for this team when he's out there as the guy that has to lead the ship.
The knock on Devin Booker before CP3 got there was that he was an empty stats guy who would put up 30, 35 points, but it would be on a team that had 20 wins and 60 losses in the season, right? They turned that around, obviously, with the finals run 4 years ago. He's been on winning teams ever since then, but this is a stretch, DK. 22-year-old Devin Booker couldn't carry that bad Suns team, but he's what now, 26, 27? He's getting to that age where he's clearly one of the top, 3-5 shooting guards in the NBA. You start making a name for yourself by winning games. 1-9 for Devin Booker in that lineup without KD, and obviously KD solves a lot of problems. He's very underrated on defense, very long. There's a lot of things he does besides score, but you're right. I mean, Devin Booker at some point has to put his stamp on games. I don't care how many doubles or triples he's getting. He's the second most blitz player in the NBA to Luka. They still have to find a way. He has to find the open man, do something more. But yeah, Devin Booker needs to start taking over these games and impacting the team and leading them towards wins with KD out of the lineup. 1-9 for Devin Booker. Not a good look.
Kamu Kahue is the latest Arizona Wildcat to announce that he is going into the transfer portal. The linebacker out of, I believe he went to high school up in the Phoenix area. He had played mostly as a reserve, really shined kind of at the end of last season, and there was a lot of thought that he might be a guy that could really be that player that kind of stepped up next to Jacob Manu this season for the Arizona Wildcats, but it just, again, never really materialized. And so now Kamu Kahue is headed into the transfer portal as well. Seeing a few more of these official announcements that we talked about in Kamu's is the actual long written one with the pictures. And first and foremost, I want to thank God, and I want to thank my coaches, and I want to thank my family, and I want to thank my teammates and all that. That's his announcement. And if you weren't with us earlier, now we're getting like the official tweets that I guess the school sends them to let players know that they're in the transfer portal, that their papers have been submitted, and now people are posting that as well. So we're getting both of these as the transfer portal has opened for business here on Monday. We'll talk about that. We'll share some thoughts. We talked a little bit about Keyan Burnett early in the show. We'll dive into Jacob Manu. Have not seen anything official from Jacob Manu, although that seems to be the foregone conclusion of the belief is that he is going into the transfer portal. I guess he was at the game on Saturday. I didn't go to the game on Saturday, so I did not see him. But I guess he was at the game, sitting in donor seats, as he has done in the past, and then was gone, or announced he's leaving 24 hours later. So there you have it. We'll get into Jacob Manu and what his legacy might be here at the University of Arizona straight ahead. It's DK on the Sports Tip. Again, just a little less than an hour left to go. We're taking you to Monday Night Football. I've got a best bet coming up for you on tonight's game. Straight after David Amata, also known as Dragon Ball, gets you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together, sponsored by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Reminder, 6th Street between Stone and Church Avenue is closed to all travel until spring of 2025, with westbound 6th Street being directed northbound at the Stone and 6th Street intersection. And eastbound 6th Street can get around that closure using either Granada or Church Avenue. For your weather, we're finally into 69 degrees right now. We'll get cooler here once we hit about 8 o'clock here later tonight. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. With Progressive Insurance, you can make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance. And cover your furry friends with pet health insurance. Visit Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
You know the joke. Why is Christmas like your job? You do all the work and the fat guy with the suit gets all the credit. We understand. That's why you might need a new sleigh. And you can do it right now during the Red Tag Sale.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
It's another episode in the continuing story of Tobacco Barn's fight to save Tucsonans on their favorite tobacco products.
The other store prices are so high.
I'm Captain Tobacco.
My hero.
Who's responsible for these outrageous prices? I am. Pardon me while I teach this fellow some manners.
At Tobacco Barn, save up to 40%. Pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation. And save up to $3 with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
When your tobacco savings are stolen, get to Tobacco Barn.
Get up to 40% off. Pay no city or state sales tax. And up to another $3 with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
Captain Tobacco, I could just kiss you.
I know, ma'am. Animal magnetism. It's a gift I have to live with.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
So, you have approval to order more.
Oh, it's just me, guys. Why are you dressed like that? It's my polar bear costume.
I almost called the exterminator.
Just trying to drum up business for winter Alaska vacations, since when are polar bears so short?
Gary, Alaskan AC doesn't have to do silly stunts. People all over town love our Alaska vacations.
Who else promises no breakdowns for a full year? Check this out.
Don't do that here.
Well, when I spin the sign outside, it looks awesome. I thought Wrecking Ron's office was pretty awesome.
Gary, I love your enthusiasm, but I don't think we need you dressed up in a polar bear costume to tell people about our winter Alaska vacations.
Everyone knows Alaskan AC does more than just tune up the heater.
We clean, tighten, calibrate, and polish the heater so it's good as new.
So good, we guarantee no breakdowns for an entire year.
Now take off that silly costume.
Okay.
And give it to William.
What?
You're more polar bear sized.
You've got to be kidding me. I'm not putting this.
Oh, and schedule now at alaskanac.com.
I'm here to announce the new collaboration, the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bar. Presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop.
You're invited to a historic day for Tucson on Saturday, December 28th.
I'll be there.
This is big time Tucson with a tailgate festival starting at 10 a.m.
Will you be there?
Then at 2:30, it's the only bowl game with all net proceeds to charities.
We'll see you there.
With tickets at thearizonabowl.com, it's doggone good for Tucson. Tickets at thearizonabowl.com.
All the Who's down in Tucson like great deals a lot. But the Grinch, who lived on top of Mount Lemmon, did not. But he went to O'Reilly for the holidays to trade in his sleigh. And the price he got from his trade grew 5 times that day. This holiday season, come to the dealership even a Grinch can love. We're on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or check us out at O'Reilly.com. Because at O'Reilly Chevrolet, we prefer that you visit us live. See us this holiday season, and together, let's drive.
Put some red under your tree this Christmas and save some green with Precision Tool and Milwaukee Tool. Thursday, December 12th from 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. Milwaukee Tool is coming to town with red-hot deals, demos, and fun at Precision Tool on 29th Street just east of Swan. Great deals, gift ideas, and lots of red Milwaukee Tool deals are waiting for you. The Precision Tool elves will help you save some green and get some red. Stop by on Thursday the 12th. Precision Tool on 29th east of Swan. Have a Marla and Merry Christmas.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
This is Zach Gelb with the Sports Minute. Juan Soto is a Met after agreeing to a record-breaking 15-year contract worth $765 million. And I love people who aren't Mets fans that are complaining about the money Steve Cohen paid him. Just a friendly reminder that it's not your money, and Uncle Stevie is worth well over $20 billion.
And let's be real, you would all be elated if your owner did this, and you're lying if you say otherwise. I'm Zach Geld.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, unleash your Monday Night Report, absolutely free on recorded message line, 1-800-244-5506. Cincinnati at Dallas. Cincy's offensive line provides excellent protection for the quarterback, allowing him to make plays in the pocket. Dallas' defensive line has been more disruptive this season, generating pressure on quarterbacks and stopping the run. Tonight is going to be a monster game. I got the side and total. That's 2 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. Call now. Hear him for free on recorded message. 1-800-244-5506. Call 1-800-244-5506. You want the information? I've got it. Cincinnati, Dallas, side and total. I love to go 2-0 and get the next 7 days.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. It's time for us to give you your BetQL best bet for tonight. Let's hear what that best bet is.
I'm Joe Ostrowski here to help you beat the books with BetQL. 1 year after Alabama benefited from a controversial CFP decision, the Crimson Tide are on the outside looking in. Bama is out, SMU is in, and the college football playoff is set. The BetQL model will have all of their 4- and 5-star best bets locked and loaded for the 12-team CFP. I'm Joe Ostrowski. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetQL and BetMGM apps today.
And the BetQL best bet of the day is brought to you now locally by Oral Ford. We appreciate the folks at Oral Ford for jumping on with our BetQL best bets, giving you a chance to bet smart and beat the books. In fact, I've got a best bet for you tonight coming up. Monday Night Football, which you're going to hear starting in about, at least the broadcast will start in about 45 minutes here, right here on Wildcats Radio 1290 at 5:30, with kickoff coming up at around 6:15 between the Bengals and the Cowboys. So your best bet tonight is to take the over between the Bengals and the Cowboys in this game. The over-under right now, let's see the latest. Let me pull up the latest line right here from your Desert Diamond Casino. It was at 50 the last time I checked. And right now it is at what? 50. Still at 50. So over under 50. Take the over. Bengals Cowboys. That is your BetQL best bet. Brought to you locally now by Oral Ford. This past weekend, we went 2-2 with our best bets. 1-1 on the college side, 1-1 on the NFL side. We had UNLV Boise State take the over at 58.5. That probably should have been a red flag because I don't know if you've seen too many games in December in Boise, but usually it's really, really cold. There's usually a lot of snow. And to think that those teams were really going to get up above close to 60 points was probably a little bit dreaming. But we took the L on that one, as the final score of that game was Boise State 21, UNLV 7, only 28.
That's just a little bit under.
Yeah, that came 30 points under. So we took the L on that one. We did get the W on Texas and Georgia in the SEC championship game. Texas plus 7 points was the play, as they only lost by 3 on the late field goal there. What a great game that was in the SEC championship.
First overtime game. I was shocked when I heard that.
First SEC championship overtime game?
First overtime SEC championship game ever, yeah.
I was a little bit disappointed because I really did want all the new teams to win. That would have been so fun. You had Arizona State go into the Big 12, team from the Pac-12 and win. You had Oregon, team from the Pac-12,
dominating,
go into the Big 10 and win. You could have had Texas, the team from the Big 12, go into the SEC and win. And then you could have had SMU, the team from outside, go into the I think they were Conference USA or one of those, go into the ACC and win. That would have been cool if all the new teams.
I just like it how
could have
Oregon, the soft West Coast Oregon Ducks went into that conference and they beat Penn State, they beat Michigan, and they beat Ohio State.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. Kick that butt for sure. All right, so on the NFL side, we split 1-1. We had the Dolphins and the Jets. Over 45 was the play there. And, of course, that game ended on 58 as it went to overtime with the Jets winning 32-26. It was funny. That game was sitting on, 26. And I said to my wife, well, we don't have to worry about the Dolphins getting the 33 today because if they go to overtime and score a touchdown, there's no extra point. So they're going to only have 32, and that's what happened there.
That's a 1-9 in their last 10 for the Jets, in case anybody's keeping track.
1-9, yeah, not a good day not a good year for one Mr. Aaron Rodgers. And then we took the L on that. Eagles Panthers game. I think the line eventually went to 14, but we had it at 12.5. Eagles over the Panthers. I kind of had a bad feeling about that game. The Eagles are so much better than the Panthers, and they're playing in Philly. But again, it's the NFL. Some of these games, I mean, you're going to get those outlier games like the other week when who was it that beat the Lions? I think the Jaguars 52-6 or something like that. You're going to get outlier games like that. But for the most part, I mean, 12.5 is a lot in the NFL. So we took the L on that. I think the guy that bet the $3.1 million, I think he was just betting the money line. I don't think he bet the spread. You heard about that last week?
I heard about it, yeah.
Yeah, the guy bet $3.1 million on the Eagles and the Panthers. I think he took the money line bet, though, which is just to take the Eagles to win. But it was only like to win. Like, why would you bet $3.1 million to win $425,000?
Well, that's the thing. A lot of those bets, you got to bet a lot to win a little.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we always say. I mean, like some of our bets, it's like we're betting $12.90 to win $7. But like I mean, I don't get it. Like, why? I guess you're gonna risk $3 million just to win $400,000. I guess I mean, it must be nice if you can risk $3 million to win. But I'd love to hear that philosophy from somebody that actually bets a lot. Like, what's the mindset behind laying that amount of money to win a much smaller amount of money? 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. So we were 2-2 in our college, or 2-2 in our college and NFL bets this weekend. If we win tonight, we'll go 3-2. And our BetQL Best Bets once again, for the first time, brought to you by Oro Ford. We appreciate the folks at Oro Ford jumping on. It's that easy. It's that easy, folks. You can jump on a sponsorship. We always laugh and joke. My questions to Tommy Lloyd every week at the press conference are not sponsored. We call it DK with TL. So if you want to sponsor that, sponsor my questions with Tommy Lloyd. Every week at the weekly press conference, we play them on game days. In fact, game day on Saturday, we're taking the show on the road. We are going up to Phoenix for the Arizona-UCLA game. We'll drop that bone right now. We will be up at the Footprint Center on Saturday. I'll let you know tomorrow where we're going to be on Saturday for the game, for both pregame and postgame. I'll throw that information out there to you tomorrow, but plan to join us up at the Footprint Center on Saturday for the big game between UCLA and Arizona. The Bruins are going to come in as the ranked team, as the new poll came out, and UCLA has snuck in.
They had a good win
the
the
top
other
25.
Day. Who'd they beat? They beat somebody the other day.
I don't know.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, but they have snuck into the poll at number 24. So they will be the ranked team. Tennessee is your new number one, as number one Kansas lost to Missouri. How about that? Missouri, who did not win a single game. That's Desiree.
That was not close either.
Reed Francois' old school, and she hired our guy Dennis Gates. She hired him away from Cleveland State, and they did not. They had that first good year when they were in the same regional in Sacramento with Arizona. They went to the NCAA tournament, won an NCAA tournament game, got to the second round. But then last year, they didn't win a single game in the SEC, but won by 9 points over Kansas.
That's 2 losses by basically 10 points for the Jayhawks. It was the Ducks. 12th ranked Oregon fell to the Bruins yesterday on a banked-in three-pointer at the buzzer. Oregon was 9-0 and 12th in the country. So that's a big win for the Bruins early in the season.
There you go.
At Eugene as well.
So, and speaking of our BetQL best bets, our folks at BetQL, they've got Kentucky at 20-1. Kentucky men's basketball at 20-1.
You mean Mark Pope's Kentucky basketball team?
Pope's Kentucky Wildcats, yes, at 20-1 to win the national championship. How about any thoughts on that? Kentucky, because they've got two. They've got
I have
two
no
really
thoughts
good.
on that.
They've got 2 really good wins already this year.
They do. Yeah. I mean, it's so hard to tell because didn't they lose like 12 players from their roster from last year?
They did lose a lot. Yeah. They did, but they already this season. They had the big win against Duke, and I think they had another win this weekend. Let me pull it up here real quick for you, and I can tell you who they beat this weekend. They beat Gonzaga in overtime the other night. So they've beaten number 6 Duke and number 7 Gonzaga already this season. Now their one loss, that was coming off a loss at Clemson. So they lost their only loss so far was 70-66 at Clemson. So there's another opportunity if you want to go lay some money on Kentucky. 20-1 says the folks over at BetQL to win the national championship. It's early, but again, they've got a couple of nice.
So Mark Pope is 8-1, and John Calipari is 7-2.
Who's Arkansas played? Have they played anybody of note?
I don't think so. Well, no, they lost to Baylor and they lost to Illinois. Those are their 2 losses. So 8th ranked Baylor at the time. They do have a game at Michigan coming up, so that'll be a big test. It's just so interesting to me because he brought with him, I think 6 or 7 players from that Kentucky roster from last year. And obviously they've got some Tyson food money there with the Razorbacks. So it's only a matter of time before it's another NBA pipeline, just like you had at Kentucky. But yeah, that hasn't translated exactly into regular season championships for his team anywhere he's been really since Providence.
The top teams right now to win the national championship on the men's side.
Yeah,
Auburn, Duke
from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center.
Auburn, Duke, Dragon Ball, Gonzaga, Kansas, Houston, UConn, and then Kentucky, who we just talked about, is at plus 1,500. So that means if you put $12.90 on Kentucky, you could win $193.50 if they win the national championship. Arizona's odds at the moment are plus 4,000. Let's see what that would be for Arizona here. If you put that on Arizona, I might have to do that when we come back. All right, here we go. $12.90 in the calculator. That's $516. If you take the Wildcats to win the national championship at plus 4,000.
So you're saying that there is an upside to being 4-4.
Yeah, there is absolutely an upside. Nobody's believing that you've got a chance right now.
They got 0 votes again this week.
0 votes.
0 votes.
No, that's not good.
No.
So apparently the voters, anyway, are not, as far as our Wildcats 1290 poll, the voters are not convinced that the win over Southern Utah is making them feel any better.
The AP Top 25 voters have already voted in our Twitter poll, yes.
Yes. Okay. So head on over to our Twitter poll right now at Wildcats 1290. Right now, 58% of you saying no, that win over Southern Utah did not make you feel any better. All right, well, we may not get into this today because we only have half an hour left, but we may also get into the change of moving KJ Lewis from the starting lineup to the bench and what was said about that after Saturday's game. It's DK on the Sports Tip. Much more coming up for you, taking you to NFL football, Monday Night Football at 5:30. Coverage begins on Westwood 1. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Yeah, you have an accident with possible injuries over at South Columbus Boulevard and East 22nd Street, and an accident with injury also reported at East Irvington Road and South Campbell Avenue nearby the Keno Sports Complex. So if you're over there at that part of town, you'll see some slowing on those roads. And we're currently at about 68 degrees right now, getting cooler as we get closer to sunset. Expect to be in the mid-50s here by 8 o'clock. I'm Drinking Ball with you, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance offers a great price and round-the-clock protection when bundling home and auto. It's one of those rare times where you could save money and get something great. Bundle today at Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
O'Shea Jackson Jr. and TJ Jefferson bring their unique take on sports entertainment with no contest wrestling, with guests like WWE Hall of Famer Eric Bischoff.
You are an excellent villain. Oh, I appreciate that. Did that ever just kind of wear on you sometimes? The only time it got difficult is when they weren't doing loudly enough. As long as I could get the crowd to hate me, that means we were making money and we were doing things right. So the more the better.
The No Contest Wrestling Podcast, part of the Rich Eisen Podcast Network, wherever you listen.
Broadway in Tucson presents the new 2024-2025 season, featuring 6 blockbuster productions, including Mamma Mia, and the Southern Arizona premieres of Clue, live on stage, Beetlejuice, Some Like It Hot, the Neil Diamond Musical, A Beautiful Noise, and Shucked. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the best prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2024-2025 season tickets today.
We get you so close to the action at McHale, it feels like Wilbur and Wilma are in the car with you. This is the home of Arizona men's basketball. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
When you donate a toy,
we will donate a toy. It's our annual gift back to our community.
We're collecting new unwrapped toys for Toys for Tots.
And for every toy you donate, we'll donate another. For every $1 you donate, we'll match it.
At Alaskan AC, we believe every kid should have a gift under the tree on Christmas morning.
That's why we've partnered with the Marine Corps Toys for Tots once again. Since 1947, they've collected over 670 million toys, putting smiles on the faces of over 300 million kids.
And your donations stay right here in town. You can stop by our offices or hand your donation to one of our polar bears when they are at your home.
Alaskan AC loves having fun, but we're serious about helping kids. So serious, we're matching your donation.
We'll donate a toy for every one you donate
and match cash donations dollar for dollar. Let's make sure every child has a Merry Christmas.
For our location or to schedule service, find us at alaskanac.com.
'Tis the season for spreading joy, love, and for buying a new vehicle. Oro Ford's year-end sale is going on now with deals that'll brighten your holiday. Save up to $11,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ford Edges, up to $10,000 on new 2024 Ford F-150s, and up to $8,000 on new 2024 Ford Super Duty trucks. And with no dealer add-ons and 0 city sales tax, you'll save thousands more. This holiday season, take the easy drive from anywhere in Tucson and save at Oro Ford's year-end sale. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
I'm here to announce the new collaboration, the Snoop Dogg Arizona. Presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop.
You're invited to a historic day for Tucson on Saturday, December 28th.
I'll be there.
This is big time Tucson with the Tailgate Festival starting at 10 a.m.
Will you be there?
Then at 2:30, it's the only bowl game with all net proceeds to charities.
We'll see you there.
With tickets at thearizonabowl.com, it's doggone good for Tucson. Tickets at thearizonabowl.com.
Do you trust those in charge of your financial future? Trust is founded on 3 core principles: competence, honesty, and benevolence. Those making decisions about your financial future should always place your best interest ahead of their own. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee, and at Meridian Wealth Management, fostering trusted relationships with our clients is our top priority. Call us at 719-1433 or visit meridianwealthllc.com to learn more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Put some red under your tree this Christmas and save some green with Precision Tool and Milwaukee Tool. Thursday, December 12th from 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. Milwaukee Tool is coming to town with red hot deals, demos, and fun at Precision Tool on 29th Street just east of Swan. Great deals, gift ideas, and lots of red Milwaukee Tool deals are waiting for you. The Precision Tool elves will help you save some green and get some red. Stop by on Thursday the 12th. Precision Tool on 29th east of Swan. Have a Marla and Merry Christmas.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are Tucson's home for Arizona men's basketball. From live coverage of weekly press conferences to the Tommy Lloyd Show, no one covers the Cats like we do. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
Wait, what's the CNWT?
Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
David Amata.
Hey, that's Dragon Ball to you.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Final 30 minutes of the show today as we take you to Monday Night Football. Cincinnati Bengals, Dallas Cowboys from Texas. Coverage begins at 5:30. Kickoff coming up at 6:15. You'll hear it all right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. There's 2 Monday night games next week. So we got to make a choice. And of course, we're choosing the Falcons at the Raiders because of Bijan Robinson playing for Atlanta. So we will have that game here for you next week. We'll have a full show next Monday because that is the later of the 2 games. Coverage on that does not start till 6 o'clock.
Raiders got a Wildcat connection or 2 as well, don't they?
They do, Antonio Pierce. We can, I don't know how much longer they're going to have that Wildcat connection, but they've got it. They've got it currently. For sure. Hey, shout out to Mica Mountain High School. The Thunderbolts won the Conference 4A state championship game on Friday night. They absolutely put a butt whooping on AZ College Prep out at Mountain Financial Stadium in Tempe. 42-13 was the final score. Senior Josiah Thornwell ran for 182 yards and 4 touchdowns, 19 carries, 182. JoJo scored on runs of 1, 7, 2, and 24 yards. What a performance for that young man in the state championship game. Our Brittany Boyer was there covering the contest for us. She caught up with Josiah Thornwell after the game.
JoJo, such an amazing game. 4 touchdowns on the night. What did you do to be so dominant tonight?
Our offensive line was able to just open it up, and then our fullback, J.J. Mangrum, as well, just kept laying down blocks, and I was able to just keep going.
Talk to me about your offensive line and what they did to you. Obviously, they made a lot of space for you tonight, but just talk to me about what they've done all season to set you up for success.
Oh, it's been like this whole season. In the weight room, they work hard. That's where it all starts, I'd like to say. And then week in and week out, they just like to dominate teams and just try to outperform teams. And that just them having that grittiness, it really just keeps it just amazing. It's amazing.
Now, this is only your guys' 3rd season as a varsity team, and to win a state championship in your infancy, that says a lot about the program.
Yes, ma'am.
What message do you feel like that sends to your competitors for next year?
Just let them know we're not going to slow down. That junior class that's going to become seniors next year, we're just going to help them work so that they can just go back to back and keep competing at a high level.
Is there anything you want to add about the coaching staff this year, your your teammates, anything at all?
I just love all of them. I'm happy we're able to finally finish it, and let's go celebrate.
Josiah Thornwell, 19 carries, 182 yards, 4 touchdowns in the state championship
Did he
game.
say, I'm happy we were finally able to finish it?
Yeah, that was kind of
How
their
long's
thing.
that school been around?
That was kind of their thing, was finish. It was like we started this together 4 years ago. A lot of those guys came in as freshmen and played in that initial varsity year. So they played. So this was actually their 4th varsity season because they played 1 year as an independent. And then so it's their 3rd year playing in Conference 4A. And so a lot of those kids came in as freshmen and were playing varsity. So it was like we started this as freshmen, let's finish it. And that's what let's close it.
It's just the finally part that threw me because I bet you there's a lot of high schools around the state, DK, who've been waiting decades without a championship. So 4 years is amazing. It's an amazing stat, just 4 years in.
Jaden Thornton from Northeast Ohio Cleveland bred, quarterback for the Thunderbolts, 13-17, 183 yards. He hit Riley Carson on a 53-yard score. He also ran for I believe it was a 42-yard touchdown to Jaden. Jimmy Leone had 5 catches for 70 yards. He also batted down a pass on a big 4th down stop from the 3-yard line for the defense, the Thunderbolts defense. You mentioned that. They are not the fastest team to win a state title. Queen Creek Castile won the Conference 3A state championship back in 2017. They did it in just their 2nd season. And then Eastmark High School, which is also from Queen Creek, won the 2022 3A title in their 3rd varsity
What kind
season.
of water they got up in that Queen Creek?
Queen Creek. It must be, the water in Queen Creek must be really good because they are producing pretty strong football program. So Mica Mountain in their 4th season, playing in their first state title game. AZ College Prep also in their first state title game, and the Thunderbolts win big. Let's hear from the head coach of the Thunderbolts, Pat Nugent, who is finally a state champion in his 22nd season as a head coach. Brittany asked him about winning it just 4 years in.
Well, what a quick climb. You know, last year we were just getting in the state semifinals with a surprise to everybody that we got there that fast. And, you know, being a new school, you never really think you're going to get there. Everybody's got a dream, but to make this dream reality is to be 14-0 and be a dominant football team. Just the credit to everything we've done at Mica Mountain, the administration, our weight program, Keith Scott, everything we do with our kids has built this title, and what a way to go out.
Now, I talked to Josiah Thornwell. He told me that the offensive line worked so hard in the weight room, and they did a great job of making holes for him tonight. Talk to me about what the offensive line has done all season to get you guys here.
5 seniors that we believed in. You know, going into the summer, there was 4 of them coming back, and we knew it was going to be special. So to do and execute the way they did all year long, but to beat ACP the way we did, running the ball tonight, was just a dominant performance. Richard Sanchez, our old line coach, and the line, 5 seniors strong, just played their butts off all night. It was just a magical night.
Now, also, you talked about to beat ACP the way you guys did, 42-13. You guys haven't given up more than 13 points all season, I don't think. So to beat them in such a dominant fashion, what do you feel like that says about this team?
Well, our defense has been unbelievable all year. You know, that's the first time our number ones have given up 13 points all year, really. The other points have gone on our 2s, you know, so we knew they'd keep us in the game. We kind of felt good when we put 28 up at halftime. We knew it was going to be hard for them to score that many, but we just kept pounding the ball offensively and had 2 more scores, and then ended the way we did. Was wow, what a special game.
Is there anything you want to say about this senior class or a message you want to give to them as they go out?
Oh, you got to honor 31 kids that believed in the program when they were little freshman kids. There was no program. And to come to Mica Mountain instead of going to a place like Cienega that had it all, you know, they believed in us, they believed in our school, and they did exactly what we've asked them to do every day. Worked their tail off in the weight room, showed up, believed in themselves. We talked about believing all year long, and tonight was all about finishing.
All right, that is Pat Nugent after the ball game on Friday night. Just an outstanding performance by Mica Mountain to win the state championship at their first. 42-13 was the final over AZ College Prep on Friday, their first state champion. So again, for the 2nd straight year, the Southern Arizona had 3 state titleists. Hayden won the 8-man for a 2nd straight year in 1A, and Pushridge Christian in 3A, and now Mica Mountain in 4A, following Sabino and Canyon del Oro's titles last year. So really cool for those kids to have a chance to win that. It's kind of what we always had a feeling with the way that they put that program together, that they would win a state championship at some point. The question was going to be how quickly they could win it. And it's just amazing when you think about it. I mean, for the large part of the time that I covered high school football here in Southern Arizona, Cienega was one of the schools out there in Vail. And that was obviously where Pat had been. And they got to the championship, I believe, back in 2011, lost to that Devontae Neal-led Chaparral squad that year up at Sun Devil Stadium. And now they've just turned this new school into an incredible power. And when I saw them against Pueblo, I wasn't sure that night. I wasn't sure what kind of team that was. They were a little sloppy at the beginning of that game, I thought. And I'm thinking, is this a team that's capable of winning a state championship? But they quickly put it together after maybe that first couple of possessions against Pueblo. They found their groove, and by the time I left, I think right around halftime, they were clicking on all cylinders that night and looked like a team that was definitely capable of going deep into the postseason like they had done the year before when they made it to the state semifinals. But I just wasn't sure if they would be able to make it. David Amata is sitting in the J-Dub seat right now, and David rejoins us. Dragon Ball, just your thoughts on the college football playoff. The 12 teams we've got, the setup we got. I said the only thing I really didn't agree with was Boise State getting the bye.
Well, I think that in the end you were still going to go ahead and get that. I think that Boise State getting the bye week was probably an inevitability just because the ACC had the old Pac-12 problem where the ACC pretty much ate each other alive going towards the tail end of the season. The fact that we had a 12-team setup that did not include Miami, I feel, is kind of more of a shock than Alabama being left off, if I'm being totally honest. If SMU had won that ACC title game, I guarantee you Miami finds their way into that final 11 spot.
Interesting. What makes you think that?
I think that it's just the fact that Cam Ward is must-see TV. When you watch him play quarterback, that guy is something to behold. He won Miami a lot of football games this season that they had really, in essence, no business being involved in with how the rest of that team kind of performed. I think that you look at the Miami football team, it's got more of a Hollywood appeal to it than an Alabama would have had you had to pick between those two squads. Again, if SMU had sealed the deal in the ACC title game.
All right. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out as we get into the quarterfinals at the school sites. That's going to be fun to watch. Major colleges host playoff games, which we've never seen that before in December. And that'll be, again, December the 20th and 21st coming up here in about 11 to 12 days. Dragon Ball is also getting you home all week long and for cricket with your traffic and your weather.
And again, from the Wildcat, O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Studios, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. We do have an accident with possible injuries reported over at South Wilmot Road and East 22nd Street. A lot of slowing on East 22nd right now as you go through that spot. And then you've also got the Silver Road Bridge still being closed at the Blanco Wash. This will continue until about January of 2025 as they continue the bridge improvements out there. Also, a reminder, 67 degrees right now, but we will be dropping into the mid-50s here once we get to 8 o'clock. And I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
So you have approval to order more.
Oh, it's just me, guys. Why are you dressed like that? It's my polar bear costume.
I almost called the exterminator.
Just trying to drum up business for winter Alaska vacations, since winter polar bear is so short.
Gary, Alaskan AC doesn't have to do silly stunts. People all over town love our Alaska vacations.
Who else promises no breakdowns for a full year? Check this out.
Don't do that here.
Well, when I spin the sign outside, it looks awesome. I thought wrecking Ron's office was pretty awesome.
Gary, I love your enthusiasm, but I don't think we need you dressed up in a polar bear costume to tell people about our winter Alaska vacations.
Everyone knows Alaskan AC does more than just tune up the heater.
We clean, tighten, calibrate, and polish the heater so it's good as new.
So good, we guarantee no breakdowns for an entire year.
Now take off that silly costume.
Okay.
And give it to William.
What?
You're more polar bear sized.
You've got to be kidding me. I'm not putting this.
Oh, and schedule now at alaskanac.com.
'Tis the season for spreading joy, love, and for find a new vehicle. Oro Ford's year-end sale is going on now with deals that'll brighten your holiday. Save up to $11,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ford Edges, up to $10,000 on new 2024 Ford F-150s, and up to $8,000 on new 2024 Ford Super Duty trucks. And with no dealer add-ons and zero city sales tax, you'll save thousands more. This holiday season, take the easy drive from anywhere in Tucson and save at Oro Ford's year-end sale. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Put some red under your tree this Christmas and save some green with Precision Tool and Milwaukee Tool. Thursday, December 12th from 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. Milwaukee Tool is coming to town with red hot deals, demos, and fun at Precision Tool on 29th Street just east of Swan. Great deals, gift ideas, and lots of red Milwaukee Tool deals are waiting for you. The Precision Tool elves will help you save some green and get some red. Stop by on Thursday the 12th. Precision Tool on 29th east of Swan. Have a Marla and Merry Christmas.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. Over in women's college basketball, defending champion South Carolina reminded everyone just how dangerous they are with an 85-52 blowout of number 9 ranked TCU on Sunday. The Horned Frogs were 9-0 on the season and came into this one with all the momentum, but the Gamecocks dominated from start to finish, forcing 20 TCU turnovers and scoring 30 points off those takeaways. Since losing to UCLA on November 24th, a defeat that snapped South Carolina's 43-game win streak, Dawn Staley's group has won 4 straight, including back-to-back victories over top 10 ranked teams. They're still a force to be reckoned with.
We're defending like our normal selves. Offensively, we know when we reverse the ball, it increases our shooting percentage. It's unbelievable what it is. Like, unbelievable. Even if we just get it back to the middle of the floor and go back to the same side, it's up.
The Gamecocks will take on South Florida next weekend. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Amber Theo Harris on Westwood One.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. Your boxes are wrapped and the gifts are in. Our employees are ready. Let the holiday ride begin. Let's start with the price. It's easy to manage when you ship with the reliable USPS Ground Advantage. In just a few days, it's sure to arrive. We're working nonstop to keep the spirit alive. USPS Ground Advantage, the affordable and reliable shipping solution for the holidays. Visit USPS.com/advantage.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have a full tank of gas first before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, final segment of the show as we're getting you set for NFL Monday Night Football tonight. It is the Bengals taking on the Dallas Cowboys, and we got a special guest in studio joining us straight from the pool, I would imagine. Over at the U of A, it is Arizona senior diver Brooke Early joining us tonight in her final year. Now, is this your final year, or do you have one more left after this,
Could
Brooke?
possibly take a fifth year.
Could take a fifth year here. Outstanding. Brooke Early from Southern California has come all the way out to dive here at the Arizona program under Dwight Dumais, who obviously is one of the best diving coaches in the country. What have you taken away from his teachings, Brooke?
Honestly, we talk a lot about he doesn't really care about, the awards. Obviously, those are awesome, but who you are as a person in the end. And we talk a lot about who you grow into and what you say, at his retirement party, and I love
Is he planning
that.
on retiring? Are you
No, he's young. I sure hope not. No, but he's great, and I learned so much about myself as a person, and it's awesome.
Now, you obviously off to a decent start this year. You've already garnered your first Big 12 award as one of the best divers of the week earlier this year, and then that was for sweeping all of the events in a meet against ranked USC and UCLA, which obviously being from Southern Arizona, you got to love going back and beating those old Pac-12 fools from Southern California.
Yeah, it was super cool. We actually had just one meet that was USC and UCLA and us, but then they split the scores, so it was a little weird, but it was cool.
So what was going right for you that day that you were able to sweep and win all the events?
Actually, it was what was going wrong.
Oh.
The 2 weeks before that, I was having everything going wrong that week. I was having every medical issue in the book, migraines after migraines. I was barely in the pool. So I kind of went into that meet going, whatever happens, just have fun with it. And I went in, and I of course, had a migraine in the middle of the event. And I get up, first dive, and there's a fly going on right in my dive, and I start.
Now wait, this was which 1 meter or
3 meter was the
okay.
first event, first dive, and I start playing, swatting it for a whole whole minute, and my coach is yelling jokingly this is gonna go on TikTok, and you know what? And then of course I don't do that dive well, and I'm already starting with just a terrible dive and another terrible dive again, and I was like, oh well, but I ended up turning it around. My grandparents were there, and I was like, you know what? This might be the last meet they ever get to see. Let's turn this around, and somehow I ended up doing really well. So
now 1 meter and 3 meter, are those your primary? Just those two?
Yes, that's a springboard. Those are lower, a lot less scary than the high ones.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to get up there on that platform like we've been watching from our star Delaney Schnell over the course of the last 12 years. I remember when I first got into broadcasting here in Tucson, I remember interviewing her when she was 12 years old. I'm sure you've had a chance to be around her. What's kind of been her influence on you?
She's an awesome person, and she influenced me in the pool and outside. If you watched her compete, you'll think she's the most serious person ever. But if you actually get to hang out with her, she's so fun, and you really get to see both sides. And I learned how to compete through her. You go in juniors diving, and you have fun with it, but you get into college and you really learn how to compete, and she's a great example of how to compete.
So what is the difference, for people maybe that don't know, what's the real difference between the 1 meter and the 3 meter in terms of how you attack it?
I guess diving is all based on confidence. So I am a lot more confident on the lower one. So I kind of just got to gaslight myself into thinking it's the same thing once I'm up there, and I'm like, you know what? This is easy. Let's do it. And so, yeah.
Do you do similar dives between the two, or is it different?
You normally add another flip the higher you go.
Right.
So if you're doing 1.5 flips, you normally do 2.5 on the 3 meter.
Brooke Early is joining us, senior diver at the University of Arizona. I think she's got a really cool backstory in that we mentioned she's from Southern California. She's from a family of divers. Her dad dove at USC. Her mom dove at UCLA. she dives at Arizona, and her twin brother dives at Arizona State.
So he goes to Arizona State. He does not dive there. No.
Oh, okay, all right.
No.
I misconstrued that. He's just a student over there.
Yes.
Okay.
The
all
enemy.
right. But what was that like for you to grow up in a family, a Bruin and a Trojan? What was that?
Yeah,
like?
no, that was super
Because I'm a Trojan,
cool.
I told you.
Yes, yes. It was actually really cool. So my mom actually started at ASU diving there, and she ended up moving over to UCLA and diving over there, not for their team apparently, but diving with the coach there.
Okay.
And yeah, it was actually super cool seeing the fact that they were college divers, and then my grandpa also went to the Olympics for diving. So growing up with divers, you'd think it was a lot of pressure, but actually they knew the pressures that came with it, and they were actually the complete opposite. And that was amazing, and they're always so supportive, and I love it.
Now, obviously, you work primarily with Dwight Dumais, but did you have any interaction with the new swim coach, and kind of what's been his effect on the program so far?
Oh, awesome. I love him. He is super influential. I have meetings with him all the time. I'm captain on the team, so
nice.
we have meetings every once in a while to try and get the dive team incorporated with the swim team and the women's team with the men's team. And it's all about building the team culture up. And I think it's needed, and he's amazing for that. So.
And journalism grad, I understand you wanna do this someday?
It was the goal, but then the idea was to go, and I got the travel bug, and I felt like that was really hard to do sports journalism as much as I really wanted to do it. So then I also did a PR and marketing minor. So I don't know, I might do marketing grad school.
Okay.
I don't know. Or I might just go and live in Europe. I don't know. We'll see.
There you go. I'm sure you'll figure it out and then be great at whatever that entails. Hey, we appreciate you stopping by, Brooke. Continued success as you guys kind of get into the spring season and Big 12 championships and NCAAs, and finish strong with the last part of this career.
Thank you. Thank you.
Brooke Early, senior diver at the University of Arizona. That is going to wrap up our show for today. Thanks to Brooke for stopping by and joining us. Also, thanks to Kim Adair from the Arizona Bowl. We've got NFL football coming up next. Dragon Ball, we want to thank him. We want to thank J.W. Madden as well. My name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Coming up next, it's the National Football League, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Dallas Cowboys. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The following is a presentation of Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One.
Lions have it with the touchdown lead in the booth. Shotgun snap goes to the quarterback. Goff takes the handoff and gives the end around to St. Crowder, then throws in the end zone. Caught by Goff at the goal line. Near side. Touchdown Detroit. The wide receiver just threw a touchdown pass to the quarterback. Now we have seen it all. Wow.
Two receivers to the left. Here's a handoff. Henry outside the right hash. 15, 20, 25, 30. There goes Henry. Out to midfield. Buffalo 40. Far sideline 30. Henry to the 20. 15, 10-5. Touchdown Ravens.
Pitch it. Barkley. Shake and bake move. Cuts it up the middle to the 30. To the 20. He's gone. Goodbye, Barkley. Touchdown. Eagles. Good night. Four-man front, receiver in motion, low snap. He runs and he throws, caught, touchdown. It's caught. Hardman caught the ball. The Chiefs have won. The Chiefs have won. Their third Super Bowl in 5 years. It is a dynasty.
Every primetime game,
Whatever it takes.
all season long.
The only thing matters is a win. That's it.
The road to Super Bowl 59 is on Westwood One.
Let's go, man.
Now it's time for Monday Night Football. Here's your host, Rich Eisen.
We welcome you to the close of Week 14 in the National Football League as the Dallas Cowboys host the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday Night Football. Tonight's broadcast of the National Football League on Westwood One is sponsored by the Home Depot. by Navy Federal Credit Union, by BetMGM, by Barbasol Shaving Cream, by CDW, by Mint Mobile, and by the official NFL app. Hey, everybody, I am Rich Eisen, and we welcome you to Monday Night Football on Westwood One. Once upon a time, the Cincinnati Bengals had designs on winning their division once again, but that is virtually out the window. Making the playoffs, those hopes are fading fast as well. In order to make the AFC tournament, they must win tonight. Last chance saloon in Dallas for the 4-8 Bengals, and the Cowboys at 5-7 have won 2 in a row. Feeling good about themselves and thinking maybe they can get back in this mix. Let's head out to AT&T Stadium right now and welcome in the two guys calling tonight's action, Kevin Harlan and Hall of Famer Kurt Warner. Gents.
Hey, Rich, thank you very much. Roof is open here in Dallas. Beautiful night and another full house inside for, I guess, before the season began. This was going to be a marquee game, right? The Bengals and the Cowboys, and both have been very disappointing this season.
Well, and they've been disappointing, and first with the Cowboys, a lot have been about the injuries, right? They struggled early to stop the run, what they did defensively, but a lot of their main guys have been injured at times this year. And then you look at the other side and you just say, man, Joe Burrow and company are tearing it up. If you looked at their stats, you'd be like, oh my gosh,
right,
they're competing for something big time in the AFC, but they just can't find a way to close out games. Had a lot of close games, scoring a lot of points, but just have not been able to finish.
It seems like defense for both teams is the big issue.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, when you're stuck having to throw the football all the time like the Bengals have, there's ultimately going to be some mistakes that are being made. And you're right, this Bengals defense has been banged up a little bit, but they just can't find a way to get off the football field. And then we go to the Dallas side. A lot of big names on that Dallas defense, but early on it was can't stop the run, can't stop the run, can't stop the run. So something that they've got to figure out. But even with all that talk, both of these teams, they've got some people on their schedule that they can go on a run here and maybe fight their way back in, but it's not going to be easy for either of them.
We have never seen a quarterback with the numbers that Joe Burrow is putting up for the Bengals on a team with this kind of record. They're not going to the postseason. They're mathematically alive, but barely. But what Burrow's doing is phenomenal on a losing team. They're 4-8.
It is amazing when you look at the fact that he's leading the National Football League in yards, in touchdowns, and then you have Jamar Chase who's leading the league in yards, and you've got two guys that are putting together a season like this. It's hard to fathom that they're not winning football games. And I think Micah Parsons talked about it this week, talking about this game, that, man, if the record was different, Joe Burrow would be right in the heart of the MVP conversation. But what we know about the MVP is, it goes to quarterbacks. Yeah, it's about numbers, but it's also about team success. And so he won't be in that conversation when it's all said and done. But a lot of people are going to wonder, did they waste an MVP-type season by Joe Burrow by not even getting to the playoffs?
And he's coming off wrist surgery, too, so they really didn't know what they were going to get. And he even admitted early on, we did one of their early games, and we thought maybe the wrist wasn't 100%.
Well, I mean, I think I know what I'm going to get from Joe Burrow just about every time he gets behind center and gets a ball in his hands. And he hasn't disappointed this year, but I know they all feel disappointed about the season and would like to at least finish on a high note, even if they can't make it to the playoffs.
How good a backup, second-string quarterback has Cooper Rush been for the Cowboys?
He's actually done a great job. And there's a reason he's been the backup here for a number of years, is that he's solid. He's not a guy that's going to wow you, but he's going to come in, he's going to do the right thing, he's going to make some plays. And so if you surround him with good playmakers, he's got a chance to win every time out.
Rich, as we send it back to you in Los Angeles, I want to tell you that every ride we take to the stadium and every ride after the game back to the hotel is just not the same without your presence. Whether your hands are on the wheel and driving the car or just in the back seat, it is not the same. We miss you every Monday night.
It's almost as if I'm riding shotgun with you right now. It's almost as if, but there'll be other times, and I do miss you guys, too. Kurt, I'm not done with you yet. Much more to come as we approach kickoff between the Cowboys and the Bengals. I'll have a chat with Cooper Rush and then the Bengals head coach, Zach Taylor, as well. That's still to come. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
Do you need a new health insurance plan? Now is the time to get one. Literally. If you want Affordable Care Act coverage that starts January 1st, just make sure you apply by December 15th. But don't stress, Health Markets can help. At healthmarkets.com, you can look for available plans or find a licensed insurance agent. They'll answer your questions and when you're ready, even help you apply for your plan. Start the new year off with a plan that fits your needs and budget by visiting healthmarkets.com. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts.
You okay?
I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
When you donate a toy,
we will donate a toy.
It's our annual gift back to our community.
We're collecting new unwrapped toys for Toys for Tots.
And for every toy you donate,
we'll donate another.
For every dollar you donate,
we'll match it.
At Alaskan AC, we believe every kid should have a gift under the tree on Christmas morning.
That's why we've partnered with the Marine Corps Toys for Tots once again.
Since 1947, they've collected over 670 million toys,
putting smiles on the faces of over 300 million kids.
And your donations stay right here in town. You can stop by our offices or hand your donation to one of our polar bears when they are at your home.
Alaskan AC loves having fun,
but we're serious about helping kids. So serious,
we're matching your donation.
We'll donate a toy for every one you donate
and match cash donations dollar for dollar.
Let's make sure every child has a Merry Christmas.
For our location or to schedule service, find us at alaskanac.com.
This is the National Football League on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Welcome to the Monday Night Football pregame show on Westwood One. Sponsored by BetMGM, the sports book born in Vegas. Download the app today and discover their new look same game parlay product and more. BetMGM. Please gamble responsibly. Here's your host, Rich Eisen.
Welcome back to Monday Night Football. We are getting you set for Cincinnati and Dallas tonight. The Cowboys have made the postseason each of the last 3 years, and if they're going to make it 4 in a row, they're going to have to put the pedal to the metal and make a run behind undrafted backup quarterback Cooper Rush the rest of the way. He's 2-2 so far this season since coming in for the injured Dak Prescott, but he's 7-3 as a starter since 2021, and he's led Dallas again to those 2 straight wins. I spoke to